Hello everybody and welcome to Roll Together RPG and to the next episode of our Path to Ascension campaign. My name is Josh, I use he, him pronouns, and as you can see, the screen next to me is currently blacked out because we have a special guest who's coming in. You may know who the special guest is if you've watched the last episode, so I'm going to get them to introduce themselves now and also the character they're playing. Please, special guest, introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Rebecca. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Ava, who is a level 14 Warlock of the Undead, Azamar, who's currently fine, who also uses she, her pronouns.
Totally fine. Everything's fine. Nothing hurts. Everything is awesome. I've wanted to say that for a very long time. Anyway, before we get into tonight's session, we have a couple of sponsors and supporters that we'd like to thank. We are proud to be sponsored by Phoenix Dice. You can go to phoenixdice.com to get yourself some clickety-clack Rathrocks, including some limited edition Roll Together dice, which I have right here. And if you use the code Roll Together, all caps, at checkout, you can get yourself 25% off of your purchase. We are also proud to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. If you type in exclamation point code into chat right now, you'll get yourself a code for a free Electrum chest, which you can use to get items to power up your heroes as you collect them and battle through waves of monsters for free on various different devices, including fridges and freezers and microwaves, if you have the smart kind. We are also proud to be supported by Homie&theDude. They are a TTRPG group that make various different supplement books, not just for D&D, but for all kinds of different types of TTRPGs. They've got The Wandering Tavern and Scorched Basin, and if you want to check them out, you can follow the links in the chat or in the description below, and you can see if they have any other Kickstarters going on at this point. And if you're interested in buying any of their stuff, if you type in Roll Together, all caps at checkout, you can get 10% off of your purchase. Massive thank you to the D20 Club Dice Heads and other tiers on Patreon. They are fantastic, they are the best. You can join them from as little as one of your local currency per month, or one goat, which must be sent to Roll Together HQ because the kobolds need the goat, by following all of the links in chat or in the description below. Speaking of the description below, if you are watching us on YouTube, please do consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel and commenting down below, because it helps the algorithm tell us what you like so we know what to make more of for you. It's a beautiful day. Absolutely gorgeous day. Winds blowing across the cliff tops of a very familiar peak. Maybe somewhere called Raven's Bluff. We come to two figures walking through, or walking up this cliffside. The sound of birds chirping, the wind blowing is all around. It's like a chorus that is flowing through the air. And these two figures, they're not in any sort of combative gear or anything like that, or any sort of adventurous gear. They're just in normal commoners' clothing, having had a nice lovely day just walking around. Ava, could you please describe what you look like for anybody who doesn't actually know who Ava is, because it's been a long time since we've seen you?
If this is the memory that I think it is, then Ava in this is a young woman, 18 or 19. She is a radiant soul Azamar, so she has very golden tinted skin, as if there's a little aura of light all around her, and very fine, long, silvery hair. She is very tall. She's nearly 6 foot. The man beside her looks, if there is a man beside her,
There is.
is equally tall and has very similar skin and hair colouring. Ava has deep golden amber eyes and is wearing a very simple robe of pale yellow. And in the moment, she will look at the man, take his hand, laugh, and beautiful white swan wings burst out of both of their backs, and they jump off the cliff and chase each other and dive and play in the eddies or in the breeze around the cliff top.
As you're flying around and playing, there is it's very clear that you are both more adept at flying and a lot quicker. and Jeremiah is chasing you as you are both flying. You're both giggling and laughing, and you swoop past some birds that fly around. Small, what are they called? Small. It's not a school, is it? Small swarm of birds flying. You sort of both do the loop-de-loops around them, and as you both come up and back up over the cliff facing over this large field, as you come up, you just feel a tug on the bottom of your legs as Jeremiah grabs you by the legs and sort of grabs you into a loving embrace, and you both gently sort of fall, your wings intertwine and everything, and you just land on the in the field, and daisies and petals and what's it called, spores and things go flying everywhere, and it's just like this little firework explosion of flowers everywhere, and you can just hear Jeremiah giggling underneath one of your wings that is sort of covered over his face. And he sort of pulls the feathers apart and just peeks out through you, and then sort of moves the feathers and then stands up and sort of brushes himself off. You can see he's got grass stains all over him everywhere, but he's no injuries or anything, but just covered in grass stains, and he puts his hand down to help you up.
Ever the gentleman.
Helps you onto your feet, and you both just look at each other, and he gestures towards the very sort of top of the peak of Raven's Bluff, where you can see over a very vast distance, absolutely beautiful view. And you can see as you look there, something that you hadn't noticed with all of the flying and stuff, is that a beautiful picnic has been set up there. And he leads you over towards the picnic, and all of your favourite foods I have been prepared. What does Ava like to eat? We're getting into the nitty-gritty questions in this one-on-one. What does Ava like to eat?
What does Ava like to eat? Well, she spent her entire life in Kalimvor's temple, so I don't think she's been exposed to anything too exotic or exciting. It's always fairly plain, but I think really, really good fresh bread and honey is probably top of her list.
Got some lovely freshly baked bread with the basket itself has got the seal of Golden Fields on it, so this is proper good end stuff. And there's honey that's got the same sort of sigil on it as well, and there's butter, there's little cakes and some fruits and things that Jeremiah begins to pull out of the basket and lay down. He even pulls out a small little tea set and starts pouring some tea out for the pair of you, and he hands it over. The entire time he is talking and having conversation with you, you can understand what he's saying, but there are no words actually coming out of his mouth. You know that he's saying, "Oh, we're having such a lovely time. I love all of this. That flight was absolutely fantastic. That little spiral that you did was amazing. Oh, your wing slapped me in the face again. I need to get used to not being knocked on the floor." And it's just lovely. But there's just this sort of twitch in your eye as you realise that there's something not quite right with no audio actually coming out of his mouth. It's just too lovely.
I will fold my wings away. Can I insight?
You can insight, yeah.
I think it's like an itch at the back of my head. I know something is wrong, but I'm trying not to know it. 18.
Yeah, that itch is it's grating like fingernails on a blackboard. Proper grating on the back of your head. There is definitely something wrong here. And every now and then as you look around, you can see this beautiful sunset sky, lovely deep orange hues that the sky currently is because the sun is setting. Every now and then it just almost like a glitch effect, and the sky is blood red, and then it quickly flicks back to the beautiful sunset. The sun itself becomes this, instead of this beautiful radiant sun, it becomes this darkened red and black moon instead. But then it just quickly flicks back.
I think Ava's going to tune it out as much as she can. She remembers what she said, so she's going to say her lines of How did you have time to do this? You haven't left my sight. And Goldenfield, we should go there one day on our next honeymoon. And she says what she knows she's meant to say, and just tries to, by force of will, stay in the bubble.
Force of will, you try focusing on the conversation and this script of lines that you feel that you have to say, and the mouth moves, but the voice again is more in your head. Oh, we have plenty of friends around who delivered the stuff for us, and it's a meal that I've been planning for ages. It is our 6th wedding anniversary at the end of the day, and all of this sort of stuff. But as he's talking, there's another voice that overlaps over the top of it, and this other voice is Jeremiah's, and it just goes, "You let me die. You let me die. You left me. And worse, you brought me back and killed me again." And glitch effect and everything goes back, and he's staring at you with a big smile on his face, holding out a small plate with some toasted bread on it with a little pot of jam next to it and a knife for you to take.
Take it.
Not jam, honey, sorry.
That if this is actually our 6th anniversary, not our honeymoon, then Ava's definitely more like 22, 23. She just looked 19 in the sunset.
I will ask you to roll an insight check.
I don't want to. I'll find out bad things. That was cocked. That is 21.
Yeah, that's definitely something that doesn't match up. As you said, you would be a lot older if this was your 6th anniversary. There's something in his words that was mistaken.
It isn't our 6th anniversary. We never got a 6th anniversary.
It's at this point that at this point he's given you the food and he's turned back towards the basket, so he's sort of you can see half of his face, and he's reaching back into the basket to pick out something else, probably some fruit or some cakes or something. And as you say that to him, he just stops, and you can see that he's got that smile on that sweet, gentle smile on his face, and you just watch as the shoulder that you can just about see slumps a little bit, and his head sort of sways, and he doesn't say anything, but he turns towards you, and that glitch effect happens again. And what you see as he turns towards you is the side that you've been seeing this entire time, this beautiful young husband you've just married face with this big grin, but the other half is this rotten, decayed face as he just looks towards you. One eye, that eye is drifting off in a different direction, and his hand just goes to reach up towards you, but then that glitch happens again, and his hand is beautiful again and alive, and he strokes the side of your face.
Ava will back off. She wants to stay in the memory, but it is too vivid now and too wrong, and so Ava will just flinch away and just stand up, put a little bit of distance between, not lots, just, take a couple of steps back. She's had her moment of pretend, and now she needs to prepare for whatever's coming next.
He stands up as well, not realising anything's wrong. His wings come out of his back, and he sees you moving towards the cliff face, and you hear the voice in your head saying, "Do you fancy going for another fly? We could do that and then come back for some more food. I've got some extra special treats in the basket if you'd like them."
I'm tired. Why don't you go and I'll watch, see if you can practice that somersault.
Oh, but I really want to go for a fly. Should we go for a fly?
I said I'm okay.
Can you make me a dexterity saving throw, please? Mm-hmm. And because this is a very high DC.
My dex is only +2. I did roll a 19 on the dice, so that's 21.
This is why it's so high. I
don't have a leg to stand on, do I?
As you say, "No, I'm tired, I'm going to go," you begin to feel something around your feet, around where the blanket and everything is that you've sort of stepped slightly back from, and you can see this strange blackened pool begins to appear around Jeremiah's feet. He hasn't noticed it, but as you're both stood there, you feel things begin to tug at you as these skeletal hands just burst out of the ground and begin grabbing onto your dress, onto your legs, onto your arms, and begin to pull you down into a kneeling position. And they do the exact same thing to Jeremiah, but he's not reacting to it at all. He's just pulled down onto his knees. And he's like, would you like some more tea and biscuits? As he's pulled down to his knees, his wings sort of flapping around.
I'm so sorry.
It's at that point where you begin to see flames light up around the tips of his wings, almost like he's been dripped with blackened tar on the wings. They get that sort of look that you see when you see a seagull enters the sea when there is loads of oil around, and that's just draped all over his wings, and there's this flame just lights up. Jeremiah is completely engulfed in flames, and that's where you can hear the audible screams in your head come from him. But the vision that you see is a man who's trying to hold some toast out to you as he is burning and his skin is falling off.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
As he goes to hold the plate out, you just watch as the intense heat causes the body to just turn to ash, and dust sprays all over the place. Flames disappear, and you can see the ash of your husband on the floor. The skeletal hands are still grabbing onto you and holding you in place so that you can stare at this vision for that little bit longer. That beautiful landscape that you can see of Ravensbluff begins to morph and change into a dead mountain range. There's no grass, there's no flowers. It's all just red and black ground, red and black earth. The sky reverts to its normal colour of red with the black and red moon. And you just feel a large presence behind you, although you can't turn your head to see this figure. And you just hear a big voice in your ear. Are you ready to give in yet? Are you ready to apologize for what you've done?
The outside world must be very boring for you to come back here so soon.
You don't know how long it's been. You are great entertainment.
Oh, sorry, I can do more screaming and crying if that would be more entertaining.
I will get you to apologize, and you will suffer for eternity.
Apologize for what exactly?
Everything. Everything you have ever done. You realize that they all see you as a villain, right? You are no champion of Kelemvor. Sorry?
They made that pretty obvious. They weren't shy about their feelings.
You are no champion of Kelemvor. Not at all. Not at all. You think that what you have done, your conversations with the god of death, have made any difference in the real world? No, no, no. The reborn, they are just as doomed as what they were when you left, when I took you. If anything, you made it worse for them.
I saved Golden Fields. I helped. I was there. I broke my promise to you at considerable cost so as not to unleash you on the world. If I was as selfish and evil as people say, I would have just used you to kill Malagard and then kept my word and to hell with the consequences. But I let you send your demons to chase me. I made an enemy of you to protect people I'd never met. I never betrayed my companions. I never I never turn my back on ephemera. The others backstabbed and betrayed. Not being kind all the time doesn't make me a villain.
We're definitely there at Golden Fields. You definitely didn't do anything, though. It was those who carry the light with them are the ones that did all of the work.
I protected them, and I took down your underlings. I hurt them, and I killed them, and I saved innocent people. I've made bad choices, and I'm not nice, and I'm not sweet, and I don't make friends. But I have saved innocent lives. I've hurt myself to protect other people, and I protected my people until they betrayed me. I am not the villain.
You're still so strong of mind, but I will have the last laugh, little angel.
Say this every time. You've been doing this a while. Is this all you've got?
You want to see what I've got? Oh, little one, you have not experienced pain yet. And you feel that before he even finishes the sentence, you feel the ripping of your vocal cords as he tears it out from your throat. Blood sprays across the picnic mat. Your blood merges in with the ashes of your husband as you fall to the floor and everything goes black. As the darkness takes you, this is the one and only time, and this has happened enough times now where fragments of memories from previous times begin to sort of bleed through. You remember each of the different times. You've done this 50, 60, maybe even 100 times. You've been through that exact same situation, and each time something is slightly different. This time, Jeremiah was set on fire. Last time, he was impaled on the rocks below. Another time, there are points where you think, does Orcus actually have a problem with me? Or is it Jeremiah he has the problems with? Because he keeps killing him. But eventually...
there are things worse than death.
Eventually you come back to. And again, you were in that beautiful landscape of Raven's Bluff with Jeremiah. As you both sort of you started off this time laying in the field. Jeremiah's been playfully making flower angels, is what I'm going to call them. He's been laying next to you doing that. Could have quite easily just puffed his wings out and just laid down flat. That would have done the job as well, but this is more fun. Yeah, this is more fun. So he's done that, and he's rolled over, and as he rolls over, he's made one of those dandelion chain things and he sort of places it on your head as he makes it with a big grin on his face. And you can actually hear his voice this time. And I'm not 100% sure what Jeremiah sounded like, so this is just going to be more my voice, just because, I'm terrible at accents. So, but he's like, that looks much better on you. Much, much better than any silly piece of really expensive jewelry. I like that.
I mean, I have to say I don't hate nice pieces of expensive jewelry, but I don't think I could walk around with an actual crown, and I do like feeling like a princess, so I'll take it.
Right, I've got a surprise for you. Are you ready for it?
I don't know, am I?
Yeah, come with me. And he stands up and he holds his hand out to help you up, and he leads you in a different direction. Instead of leading you to the top of Raven's Bluff's peaks and for the picnic, he leads you down. And as he begins to lead you down, you can see that there's this strange blur that begins to happen, almost like there's a barrier at the bottom of the cliffs. And as he leads you to it, he walks through it, unwavered by it. And he pulls you through. There's no resistance or anything to it. And as he pulls you through, you find yourself in a very familiar place. Golden Fields. lovely little homes, like little village / town sort of area. Lots of farms and everything around. You can see a small little inn, and you can hear lots of laughing and people shouting about another one. And as he leads you, he's Jeremiah's proper giddy. He's like, "Come on, I've got a really big surprise for you. Come on. It took me a long time to get this organised, but I hope you like it." And as he leads you up to the door, and the door opens, you can see sat down around a group of tables, a man with sort of short brown hair, or you think he's got short brown hair. He's got this rather sort of large fedora / cowboy hat sat on his head, almost like a sheriff's badge on one side. He's got his legs up with them crossed, small little beard. You see Fiore sat there. You then see hang on, just checking pronouns for this one. You see a half elf man sat there, long blonde hair, with his sort of sat there a bit sort of unsure as to what's going on around him, but it seems to be enjoying everything that's happening. As you see Viorka sat there. Next, you see the person who lives in Golden Fields and controls and is in charge of the shepherds, large half orc, wearing the armor of Shantea as Prosperous is sat there, sort of looking around at everything that's happening, taking a little bit of a drink, but isn't getting into the game that seems to be happening here at the moment. You've then got a more bluish toned skin figure. Looks to be a sea-based creature, probably a triton with a green mohawk down their head. They're the person that is at the center of this game. Big smile on their face. You can see that they are currently upside down on top of a barrel with a tube sticking out of their mouth. You know this to be Nate. With sort of egging them on a little bit, sort of technical style goggles on their head, brown hair, sort of slightly longer than the last time you saw them, big bushy beard, as Anton is sort of proper gearing on, sort of holding the legs as well. And then sat directly opposite Prosperous is a clerical type, very sort of serious looking face with the symbols of the fire cloak on their armor. You can see Eldrathni is sat there looking around, wanting to get involved, but is unsure on how she'd be received if she did. And then one final image that you see, the first thing that you see is this massive hat that is covering pretty much the entire seat, to the point where they have to get their staff, stick it up and prop their hat up. And you can see they've got a straw hanging out of their mouth that goes into a little flask that's on their hip. As you can see, an ephemera is there holding their staff up, and everybody waves to you as you walk in. They all look exactly as they did the last time that you saw them. And that there's quite a big gap between when you saw some of them as well. But you still look like you've just had your wedding day. But everybody's like, "Ava, it's good to see you. Come in. We're having a drinking game. We know for a fact you can outdrink Nate. Come on, get on this beer barrel."
How much does Ava remember? Like, does she just remember that they're people that she knows? Or does she remember everything? Is it fuzzy?
It's, you recognise every single person as somebody that you have met at some point, although it doesn't make much sense with how old you currently think you are, at least. When you try to think a little bit more into where exactly you know these people from, then it starts to get a little bit fuzzy, and you're like, I could have sworn I knew we did. No, wait, no, that can't be right, because I've not ever been to that place before. I've never heard of a place called Myth something. I don't know.
Yeah. Although Ava can't remember the cycles with Orcus, I think there's an instinct, just a human survival instinct somewhere that tells her just go with it. Don't think too hard. Enjoy it while it's here, somewhere just subconscious. And so she will like pull Jeremiah by the hand and be like, Love that. Oh, Ildrathni, lighten up. It's all going to be okay. It might never happen. Someone's probably not about to charge in and attack everyone. And Nate and Anton, yeah, this tracks. Oh, Viorica, sing us a song.
Viorka sort of gets up and begins to, as you've walked in now, lightened up quite a lot, and sort of stands up and begins serenading everybody. And you can see there's other people in the tavern as well. Strange thing about them is they're all completely faceless, but we're just going to gloss over that completely. And people like cheering and clapping as Viorka begins sort of performing a song. I am not going to sing because can't do it.
I feel like Viorica's castrati, especially. So don't do that.
No, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, there is a lovely vibe coming from the tavern. There are drinks laid out all over the table. There is food. There is lots of bread and lots of honey around everywhere. And Prosper's sort of lathering up some honey and stuff onto some bread and is sort of taking into it. You watch as Nate, who gets off of the barrel, sort of stumbles over and full Winnie the Pooh style picks up a whole jar of honey, just sticks the hand in, pulls that out and just shoves it into their mouth and just starts eating it. Ildrathni sort of looks around a little bit, watches Ildrathni picks up like some bread that has been cut into like soldiers, like eggs and soldiers sort of types thing, picks one of those up and dips that into the honey, takes a bite out of it. They get that whole anime style flush in the face with the eyes as if this tastes really good, but tries to hide it really well, and then just carries on eating it and turns away from everybody so nobody else sees that she's enjoying it.
Yeah, and something, again, there's something clicking, some itch, because Ildrathni shouldn't be eating food, but then she did become like fully alive again, so maybe but there's something going, she used to drink blood, what? Push it to one side.
Then Ephemera
sit at the table.
is
Right, you said a drinking competition.
Nate, and it's again the voices, the mouths speak, but there's no voices coming out of them. It's all in your head again, and you hear Nate. You get a feeling from Nate. Oh yeah, I mean, I've definitely been practicing, and I can definitely drink you under the table this time, even though I've just drunk nearly a whole barrel on my own. I reckon I can still take you.
Confident as always.
Oh yeah. And you watch as Anton uses some magic to bring out 2 more barrels, places them down, and Ephemera walks over with the large stick, pulls with their staff, and the hat sort of falls over. They pull the stick up and slam it down and onto one barrel, and Prosper, without even looking, just reaches over with their weapon and just knocks the other one through.
Yeah.
Pipes are fed through, and both you and Nate, Ildra gets up and sort of helps you up into a position where you're standing on your head sort of thing, and Anton helps with Nate, and you're on your heads with the tubes in your mouth, and you can begin chug, 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 chug. Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, Josh. That is a flat, as in a 10.
Nate rolled a 12. So...
Oh. No,
yeah,
Nate's cocky enough already.
He's got you at the minute. He's got you at the minute. You know, you stumble a little bit, and the sudden rush of alcohol going into your system is something that you knew was coming, but it's like you weren't expecting it to hit you as hard and as quickly as what it has. But yeah, you keep drinking and chugging and chugging. You get to that point where you've had enough to drink now. But this is a competition, so you need to keep pushing through. Make me another Constitution saving throw, please.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's better. Dirty 20.
I rolled a 10 that time. Nate stumbles a bit, and Anton struggles to hold on to him. But you can see they're both... Well, Anton is definitely giggling. If Nate was to giggle, he'd probably choke. But you can see he's trying to hold it in, and he sort of slumps a little bit. His arm goes a bit limp where he's trying to hold himself. And you're just there in almost to the point where Ildra could just let you go and you would just be perfectly holding yourself in a handstand, chugging. And eventually Nate just falls on top of Anton and they just fall into a heap on the floor. You hear a massive roar of laughter come from all over the tavern as where the pipe fell out of out of Nate's mouth, there's still alcohol bursting out of it, and it's just covering both of them in it as you are helped down by Ildra, who just gives you a curt nod and goes back to sitting down.
Thanks.
You do feel a bit swayy, but not as bad as what these two look like on the floor at the minute.
You should have learnt by now. How many times?
Oh, they both sort of, well, not so much Anton, but Nate definitely falls asleep. Anton gets up and prestidigitates himself so he's not completely covered in beer anymore and doesn't stink. And Jeremiah comes over to you, and you can see that the windows outside, the sun's began to set and it's dark out there. And he comes over to you, he's like, right, well, this was the first part of the surprise, the first stage. Now we have the next stage, which requires us to go outside.
Okay. How do you know? You never met. Let's go.
And he leads you outside, and you go into the main sort of market, sort of town centre sort of area. And you can see that there is a platform that has been set up, and there is a big banner going across it that says Happy 6th Anniversary. And as he leads you there, and you can see there's more townspeople here who are all cheering at all of you. You watch as fireworks begin going off in the sky.
This is for us?
Yeah, I thought I'd do something nice for our anniversary.
But why do they care? We've never been. You've never been.
Prosper comes up to you and just sort of slaps you on the shoulder, and Peter says to you, we saved the town. We saved this place. We're heroes here. You did nothing. I did all of the work. But yeah, we did a fantastic job.
Yeah. Turn my back to pee and cling on to Jeremiah, both his arms, and just a slightly desperate embrace, making it last for just a little bit longer.
As you do that, you watch as this big hat sort of comes through the crowd and comes up to you as Ephemera lifts the hat up to look at you. I hope you liked it. I grew some special flowers especially for this time, and I really hope that you like it, and I'm really thankful that we are friends. You betrayed me. All of my problems were because of you. I hate you. But yeah, I love it. Do you love it? Is it nice?
I love it. You are my best friend. I love everything you do.
Oh, you're so nice. Why did you betray me then?
I didn't.
What do you mean you didn't? You don't like it? Oh, I'm sorry.
I love it. Show me your flowers. I love it.
Yeah. And Ephemera sort of wanders off to go get some more flowers. As these fireworks are still going off. I mean, there's a lot of them. This is more than what you get on a New Year's Day sort of parade sort of thing. They're still going off, and Jeremiah turns you to sort of face the fireworks, and you can see that some of them have been crafted in such a way that they begin to show your face and his face, and sort of images of your, like somebody's cast a minor illusion on it, and you can see images of your wedding day, images of your honeymoon, and then it begins flashing through 4 years of your life. I think you were married for 4 years before. Yeah. It shows the everyday life, him going out on pilgrimages and coming back home, and your brain goes, yeah, these are all memories that I actually have. And then it gets to a point where you see the memory of the last time you ever saw Jeremiah, the day where he went on a pilgrimage for the church, went on a mission, and that was the mission that he didn't come back from. But then the next firework shows him coming back, and shows you two having a 5th wedding anniversary, and shows you going on adventures with Prosperous and Prosperous Vriorka. Hang on, let me just quickly get the proper names up. With
Right.
Prosperous, Ephemera, Vriorka, and Fiore. And then it flashes again to something that was considered probably a little bit more recent, where you're with Anton, Nate, Ildrathi, and Ephemera again, but you're in Mithranor, but there's no signs of a wand. There's no signs of Jeremiah being brought back to life. If anything, Jeremiah is with you. He isn't an adventurer like the rest of you. He acts more like the backpacker, and he sets up the tents and he cooks all the food and stuff. But he's also there as a priest of Cannonball, and you are all really close. And then it shows a couple of other images of like Prosperous and Ildra meeting for the first time, and all things that you know haven't happened, that feel wrong but also feel right. Can you roll me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Wisdom is +9, so 17.
17. So with that, as you begin to feel a little bit tired, and you sort of stumble back a little bit, and Jeremiah catches you, and you can feel the sort of warmth coming from him as he wraps his arms around you, and he just sort of nuzzles his head into the top of yours and moves you over towards a small bale of hay that is at the side of this stage. And he lays you down on it, gives you a kiss on the forehead, and pulls a blanket over you, sort of tucking you in a little bit. And you just hear him whisper to you, "Don't worry, take a nap. I know it's a long journey here and everything. We'll all still be here when you wake up."
I try really hard not to fall asleep.
It's incredibly difficult to not fall asleep. As your eyes just begin to shut, you watch as he walks away with a big smile on his face and joins the others for a little party. And as you fall asleep, there's no dream that you have. It's just almost like you instantly wake back up again, but you can tell time has passed because it has gotten really cold now. Like it's maybe 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. There is a high moon in the sky that gives that gives Golden Fields this really sort of eerie colour into it, and there's a mist that has settled in. And as you open your eyes and get up and have a look around, you put your hand down on the floor and it squelches. And as you look at it, you can see blood in your hands. And next to you can see the body of one of the faceless villagers. And then you can just hear screams and gargles and shambling as these faceless villagers are being slaughtered by these figures, these zombies. They're being eaten and torn apart, and as these zombies turn to look at you, you can see all of your friends have been turned into zombies, and they begin charging towards you. Can you roll me initiative, please?
Yeah. 18.
So at the beginning of the combat, you watch as the zombified version of Nate charges at you and attempts to make a bite attack against you. You can see as he does, there's bubbles just foaming out of his mouth, like he's beginning to puke up, or he's at least puked up at least once all of the beer that he's consumed. One of his eyes has completely gone, like a scratch has gone right down the side of his face. And as he begins to grab and try and claw at you, he is going to roll. He rolled an 8. He tries to grab at you, grabs at your clothing that you have, but isn't able to scratch or grip or anything on you at all, and doesn't do anything. It is your turn.
Do I have all my everything?
You have absolutely everything that you have ever had.
Right, I think for starters, I will use my Form of Dread, which will get me an extra 21 temporary hit points and changes Ava's appearance, I think it's changed many times over her last few years. I think right now, the most awful, dreadful thing for Ava is reality. So her lovely honeymoon newlywed shimmers and goes, and her form of dread is just her agonized, older, traumatized, grief-stricken self over the top.
And as you
know, that's fun.
Do your wings pop out when you do the form of dread?
I don't know. I don't think they have to. I think I get to decide. Would you like them to?
They can do if you'd like to. There's just a little extra description if they do pop out.
I'll go on then. Her wings can pop out. Being able to fly is always useful in a fight.
As your wings pop out, as you begin this, it's more like, to start with, it's like not the Fallen Asimar version of the thing, it's like the Radiant Soul version where it's more angelic as the wings pop out, but as that fallen side begins to take over and you begin to look more like Ava does, you feel this sharp pain coming from your back as you watch all these feathers just fall across your face, as all of your feathers and all of the skin and muscle and bone that's attached, not the bone but the muscles and tendons and things that kept them as they were, just falls off and slops to the floor behind you. You're covered in your own feathers and blood.
I think that's a real memory. I think when the Church of Kellenvor cast Ava out for trying to resurrect Jeremiah and she became a fallen Azamar, I think that was part of her exile, and part of her punishment was that pain and her wings shifting. So I think that's a real memory if you're happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah. So do I need to make any saving throws for anybody for your form of dread?
There's a whole bunch of really cool spells I have, but there's loads of zombies. I think that for old time's sake, I am going to send 6 Eldritch Blasts. If you'll permit it, I'll send them at Nate until he's dead, and then I'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, go for it.
So, shall I roll the first 3 and we'll see how Nate's looking? I have plus 12 to hit. So the highest is 31 and the lowest is 21.
They all hit.
Great. And then each of them is 1d10 plus 5. So do I then have an extra 5 because I've got my form of dread? No, that's something else. Cool. 1d10 plus 5. Old character, who dis? That is a 7 and a 9. 6. 9 is 16, and then another 7 is 23 plus 15, so that's 38 points of damage with the first 3. I have 3 more to come.
So what I will say is take the damage from the third one and apply that to your next target, because the first 2 would have killed Nate.
Thank you. So that's 12 goes over to the next one.
Which one would you like to target? You can see all of your friends
Anton.
are there. Nice and quick. So Anton takes 12 points of damage, yep.
I don't remember exactly why right now, but I know that I hate him. The other 3, the highest is a 27. The lowest is quite a lot lower, only a 16.
That all hits. I will say your plus to this is higher than their AC. So you're going to hit them.
I just stop? I'll roll just in case of nat 20s, but I'll stop doing the maths. So there's 12 going over to Anton, and then I'm
dies.
adding. That's a D8. Don't roll a D8 instead of a D10. That would be bad.
Who's your next target after Anton?
A 9 and a 9 is 8. My next target after Anton?
Yeah.
Oh, that's harder. I mean, he's never done anything that bad, but Frore.
Okay.
I go by yes. After I got the 2 that I really don't like out the way, I'm less emotionally attached to Frore than the others. 9 and 9 is 18 plus 1, 19 plus the 15 again, 34 points of damage.
Okay, so you kill Anton and Fiore and Nate with all of those attacks as every single person is charging towards you. Nate is the first one.
They're zombies. I'm killing zombies. not nice people. It's okay.
As they get to you, Nate is trying to grab at you, and he pulls you in, and you just hear the voices, like moments that happened in your history together, moments that you've just experienced where he's talking to you about the beer game, and you get voices of how he betrayed you, because he's one of the ones that helped bring Jeremiah back the second time, and he begins to call you ungrateful and begins to tug at you as you cast your Eldritch Blast. How does Ava's Eldritch Blast look? I'm doing all of this, but I don't know how you cast it.
Again, it's changed so many times. She's always been quite a lazy caster, like it's ghost, put too much effort in. So I think there's still that quite like just lazy movement, but there's much more of an edge of anxiety and tension underneath the slower movement, and it is just a like flick and motes of power come out. They've changed so many times. I think at the moment there'll still be that kind of petrol rainbow sheen that was her own magic after she changed it from Malagard's, but with a slightly less of a healthy rainbow and a more just kind of sickening colour and texture around the edges.
You watch as Fiore and Anton both just explode into sacks of blood, and as Nate is trying to get towards you, you do your lazy flick, but you do it at just the right time where Nate's mouth is right at your finger, so the spell goes into his head, and his head just goes and explodes, covering you in gore as his body slumps to the floor. Is that the end of your turn? Why is Vecna on my initiative twice?
Is the end of my turn? I don't think I'll move. Everyone else seems to be doing the moving for me.
You watch as I said, we had a little cut while I sorted out the initiative tracker and everything, and I said to Rebecca that somebody rolled the exact same initiative as you, and it was just poetic that it was this person. It's Ephemera's turn.
I loved her.
Ephemera.
She didn't believe it, but I did.
Ephemera moves around, and yes, Ephemera was reborn. Yes, she looks a lot more undead than what she did. But she also still looks a little bit different to the others, whereas the others have all taken on this a lot more zombified look. You know that Ildrafni was a Dampier, but even Ildrafni has been affected by this zombiness, zombie curse that's sort of taken her. Ephemera doesn't seem to have, although her appearance has changed a little bit, she's slinking around more at the back of the combat. You can see that the hat has been removed and is sort of slumping in the mud, and she's looking around with a very sly grin on her face, and you can see that the hair's sort of matted over her face, and she's just giggling at you with her long stick ready to cast a spell. And what she does, she's going to point it down towards you and is going to cast Blight on you.
Oh no.
I need you to make me a saving throw. Let me just wait for this to load so I can get it.
Is it a con save?
I believe it is a Constitution save. Let me just have a look. Yes, Constitution saving throw, please.
16.
That will just beat her DC, because she's still a zombie. She's still got less stats than what the actual Ephemera has.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to save.
Hey, Rebecca, why don't you come along and bring Ava back? I promise not to kill Ava by putting her against all of the level 14 characters that she has friends.
Yeah, but also death isn't really death at the moment, so...
It's true.
You know.
This is still a full-blown blight, though, that is being cast at you.
Yeah, so I'll still take half.
And you will take half. I believe you have resistance to necrotic damage as well, don't you?
I do, because I'm special.
Special. So that'll be 10.
So let me just check it's not because of the Wand of Orcus. I used to have incredible extra stats because of the Wand of Orcus, which I don't have anymore. So I just want to check it was a warlock thing, not a... I do. No, we're all right. Oh, I'm immune to necrotic damage.
Oh.
I have resistance to necrotic damage, and while I'm transformed using Form of Dread, which I am, you are immune to necrotic damage.
So this
It's my necrotic husk.
this 32 points of necrotic damage that would be coming in at you doesn't. Well, it does. It hits you, and you can see that your flesh begins to necroticize and burn away. All of the young and healthy skin that was underneath your Form of Dread begins to melt away and reveal the slightly older, slightly more... I'm trying to think of a nice way to put it, because I was going to use the word haggard.
Eva's like 30. She's not very old. The character art has not always reflected this. She is like a 30-year-old woman.
But it's more that you're a 30-year-old that has been through a lot.
Yeah, battered? Is battered a better word than haggard?
Yeah, battered would be a much better word. Thank you for that. Yes, so you take a
You're welcome.
battering from your 19-year-old skin takes a battering from it. It's like when you go through your 20s and apparently you go partying and all that sort of stuff, and then you get to 30. Yeah, that's how it's like an instant transformation for you. I didn't do that, so I don't know. But yes, you take no damage from it, and she looks to you and she scowls. Oh, dang it, that's so annoying. I'll have to get you with something else. It moves around. The fact that she didn't know that you were immune to necrotic damage is
weird.
Interesting.
She should know that.
There's a little bit of a mist that sort of flows off of the back of her as she swoops around. As another zombie tries to bite at you, as Vyorka comes along and tries to bite you.
Yeah,
Nope, doesn't. You just sort of bat him away, and he just falls into the haystack where you were just sleeping as he misses. Ildra comes in. Ildra is going to take 2 swings at you. Oh my god, I rolled 2 18s, so that's 2 22s.
Yep, my AC is only 15. It's not very high without the Wonder Focus.
That just shows you just how bad my my rolls have been.
Viorica, I don't think, is, a deeply combative person.
So you are going to take in total, those are numbers. That is, I rolled a 3 and a 1 on the dice. So that's 4. There we go. So you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as Ildra comes up to you and just begins grappling at you. You can see this large hammer strapped to her side, but she's not going for it. She's just trying to claw at you. You can see the fangs are fully extended. There's blood pouring out of her mouth. She's like a zombie vampire hybrid at the moment. Bloodshot eyes. She's just trying to grab hold of you and pull you in for a bite. Trying to have a nom. Prosperous is going to come in for 2 swings as well. One of those is going to be a 15 to hit. The other one's going to miss. I think what Prosperous does, because I don't know why I picture this being a thing that Prosperous would do, but as Nate's headless body slumps to the floor, Prosperous just walks over to it, grabs it, picks it up, and swings it at you. You're able to go, whoa, dodge out of the way of one.
I could see a world where Prosperous did that. P had a massive sword made of dinosaur bone for a while. I feel like this is somewhere in P's aesthetic.
The first swing misses you, but you don't expect how quick this zombified version of P is able to quickly spin it around and smack you across the side of the face, almost causing you to fall on the floor. Is going to do 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh no.
And then
I only
drops
have 12 temporary hit points left.
Drops the body on the floor and begins coming towards you. And then finally, you watch her slowly moving towards you, carrying a jar of honey and some flowers in his hands, very zombified, is your husband, Jeremiah. And you just hear the voice, "Honey, please, just join us and have some fun. We're having a good party." But you can see his mouth is trying to get to you.
Yeah, no.
He is going to attempt an attack on you.
Sweet, sweet Jeremiah. Does he know how?
No, he tries to attack you with the flowers. Poof! Hits you on the top of the face. They break and fall to the floor, petals on the floor. And
I sneeze politely.
Achoo! Blows him over. But he's like, oh, yeah. And you just can hear this cacophony of voices coming around you going, you let us down. You failed us. Oh, yes, Ava the Great, Ava the hero. No, you're a villain. You betrayed us. You are worthless.
Tune it out. There's a fight to concentrate on. Fighting is good. Fighting, definitely not real. Companions is much better than psychological awfulness, so let's focus on the murder and not think about the words.
At initiative count 20, can you make me a strength saving throw, please?
Josh, do you know what my strength is?
Probably really high.
My strength is 5.
Oh, there we go.
Therefore, my strength modifier is -3. It was my downfall a few times. So I rolled an 18, which is very good for me, for my strength, but that's therefore a 15.
As you begin to get ready to cast Eldritch Blast again, you just feel this intense weight on your shoulders as if something has grabbed your wings and is pulling you to the ground, and you slump down onto one knee, and you find it incredibly difficult to move, and you just watch and you feel this energy begin to drain out of you. For this next round, all of your attacks will have disadvantage.
Fun. Ava canonically hates being grappled for various, trauma reasons. So that is bad. Okay. So disadvantage, but I can still cast.
You can still do all of your attacks yet, but you have disadvantage, and all attacks against you will have advantage.
We're not going to look behind. We're not going to see what's going on. We're going to pretend that this is just a fight. Just a fight that we can win. How many of them could I get in a 20-foot radius sphere? So that's
I reckon you
40-foot
could get
diameter.
Everybody but Ephemera.
Ideal. I will get everybody but Ephemera, please. All need to make an intelligence saving throw. I am casting Synaptic Static at 5th level.
Yay! Just 4 people. Would you like to know what a zombie's intelligence is?
I'm hoping rubbish.
-4.
Excellent. This is what we like.
So I'll tell you the results. I rolled an 18 for a 14. So that one fails. That one was for Yorka. I rolled a 10 for a 6 for Ildra. Prosper rolled an 8 for a 4. And then Jeremiah rolled a 3 for a -1.
Funny. Well, the save was 20, the DC. So all of them take 8d6 psychic damage, and they all have muddled thoughts for 1 minute. During that time, each of them roll a d6 and to subtract that number from all their attack rolls and ability checks and constitution saving throws. They can make an intelligence saving throw at the end of the turn, ending the muddled effect on a success. If they're gonna have advantage, then I've got to, back my odds somehow. Did I say 8d6 or 60?
I think you said 66.
8d6.
Oh, 8d6. Okay. Numbers.
Level 5. 7, 10, 16 with 4 of them. And then 20, 30, 36 points of damage to each of them.
That kills each of them.
Sorry, Josh.
That's all right. As you watch as something in their heads just explodes, and you watch blood fill their eyes, and then their eyes just explode outwards, and they all collapse to the floor. Blood pouring out of their ears and out of their mouths and everything. Jeremiah was still walking towards you with the broken flowers and the jar of honey as everything just falls apart and he collapses to the floor, and you can see Ephemera is just slinking around in the background with that sinister grin on her face. Sorry?
This is very clearly awful, but it's kind of okay because they're all clearly zombies, not themselves. It's not like she's actually killing friends and companions and loved ones. And there's something about it being a Mass Effect that's less awful than pointing out her friends one by one and killing them one by one. It's still not great, and Ephemera is scary.
Ephemera looks towards you with that grin. It's her turn next. Unless there's anything else you want to do on your turn.
I have a bonus action, but I don't think there's anything I can do with it.
Right, so Yeah, go away.
Can't move.
Ephemera looks towards you, and you watch as she begins to swirl her staff, and lightning begins to crackle atop of it, and she takes a few steps forward so she's within range, and she just points the staff down towards you, and you watch as the lightning shoots out and is going to hit you. This is going to be a dexterity saving throw, which you have disadvantage with because you are technically grappled.
Just disadvantage. I'm not. Oh, I guess I'm not incapacitated.
Not yet, no.
So my dex is +2. Disadvantage. Oh, one of those was a nat 20.
Oh,
The other one comes out as a 12.
nice. That's a dice that I can't read.
Is it nice, Josh?
Sorry, what was the result again?
12.
12, yeah. No, that's nice for me. Not nice for you.
Yeah, that's
will
why I
tell you
had a
now-
horrible suspicion you meant.
This is going to be shocking. Yeah. Ooh.
I'm too anxious to make puns.
23, 24, 28, 31, 31, 39, 37, 47, 49, 56, 61 points of lightning damage.
61. I've gone from 130, including temp, suddenly down to 69.
Nice.
All at once. Not quite half, but very nearly.
And you watch as Ephemera casts this spell on the lightning. There's almost like a reverberation that happens as the spell leaves the staff, which hits, sort of backfires into Ephemera's face. And you watch as her hair flows outwards, and it's a lot longer than you thought it was. And her face shifts and changes slightly, and you can see a visage of a hag for a split second before it reverts back to Ephemera. And you can just hear her cackling and laughing.
I think Ava's been reasonably stoic throughout because she still has the itch going. It's not real. Don't. The subconscious, like, don't give in, don't show pain. You've done this before. She doesn't know it consciously, but I think there's that against survival. But I think at taking 61 points of damage, she will scream fairly, dramatically. That hurt. And she will try and see if she can break free from whatever is holding her down.
Yep, you can make me a strength saving throw, please.
No, it's not technically my turn, but everyone else is dead.
That's fine.
Strength -3 for a 6.
Yeah, this thing, somehow you try to resist it to get out of it, and it feels like you're being pushed further down by it. And it's just not looking good for you at the moment as Ephemera begins to move closer towards you. You can see that her hand is crackling with energy as she begins approaching, and then she takes a step back and looks at her hand. You can see it's got necrotic energy forming in it, realizing that what she just did to you didn't do anything, which is, again, something that Ephemera should have known from the beginning, but didn't. Takes a step back and then begins to circle around you, looking at you. So, Ava, Ava. Oh, this is a precarious position you're in. You can't move. You can't get away from whatever's holding you down at the moment. Oh, what can I do to you? Hello. Ooh.
Well, I'm glad you're having fun.
I'm having a whale of a time. Are you having fun?
I've had better.
Well, maybe we should make things a little bit more interesting. And she taps her staff on the ground, and you watch as the bodies begin to move and shift, and they all begin to get up. You watch as Nate's head begins to grow. You watch as a tiny little Nate head pops out of the next stem, and then it grows back into full size, and everybody begins to get back up, their eyes reforming, blood's from those who had blood pouring out of their eyes, their mouths and noses and stuff, that's all still there, but their bodies repair themselves as they begin to all slumber over towards you again. And this time they all get on you and they just begin piling on you and just start scratching and pulling at your flesh and tearing at you. And you feel a couple of them start to bite you. You feel some stickiness on you as for some reason Jeremiah started pouring honey on you, maybe make you taste a little bit better, but then he does that and starts biting at you, all while this is happening and they're bundled on you, and you are literally being eaten alive. This is a pain that you've never experienced before in your life. You can just see Ephemera walk over and pick her hat up out of the mud and stick it on her head, and you can just see these evil yellow eyes gazing at you with this big toothy grin as she's watching you be devoured.
I think Ava's, started with like, this isn't real, it doesn't matter, this isn't real, and then it does just end up with screaming, because I imagine this is agonizing.
It is agonizing, and what makes things even worse is you watch as this green energy appears around Ephemera's fingers, and she grins, and she's like, oh, this is never going to end, and she's going to heal you, and your flesh begins to re-knit itself, and as it begins to re-knit itself, you feel another claw drag into you and rip the new flesh, and then more begins to heal up, and bite marks and chunks of flesh are taking out of you as more begins to grow back. Your clothes are completely sort of ripped in places where keeps your modesty, because that's weird if you do that, and you just get bitten, and you feel this hand stroke the side of your face as Jeremiah has gotten close enough to you to be face to face with you, and he goes to kiss you, and as he does, his mouth opens up and extends, and he just bites your face, tears the flesh off. Your wings are being eaten.
Whatever's holding, that's so grim, Josh.
Sorry.
Whatever's holding Ava down, does it feel like a humanoid figure? Is it hands on her shoulders, or is it just a force?
It feels like a force is holding you down.
Okay.
You are very proficient in spellcasting, so I will allow you to roll an Arcana check.
That will be a 0. It is a 0. Let's see what that gets me. 19. Flat 19.
You feel like somebody has reversed the gravity on just you. The zombies don't seem to be being affected by it, but while all of this is happening, they are all saying derogative things towards you, calling you a villain, saying that you have never amounted to anything, that your presence in all of our missions meant nothing, and we could have done it perfectly fine without you. Jeremiah says that he made a mistake ever trusting you and marrying you. Actually, I should roleplay that because that'll be even more emotionally impactful. I made a mistake marrying you. If I hadn't have married you, I'd still be alive right now, and I'd be happy with someone else.
I think Ava makes an attempt to fight back. She doesn't, all of her spells are towards damage and control. She doesn't have any, controlling people. She doesn't have any environmental spells at all. That's not her vibe. So she can't do anything about the force, the gravity. She can't do anything about that. But I think she will, while she can, just fire off Eldritch Blast after Eldritch Blast at, I think, double disadvantage, because it's melee range and she's at disadvantage. She'll keep that going for a bit.
Yeah,
but if there's
no, you go.
If there's eight of them and one of me, and it just doesn't stop, I think at some point she will be forced to stop fighting back and just start begging.
And as you start begging, cry. How do you beg? I don't want to put words in your mouth. What do you say? What do you say to get Orcus's attention?
I think this makes Ava so unhappy. But this is awful. You have done something actually unbearable. Well done. So I think it will she is fighting, and then she is screaming, and then I think the screams will turn into just stop. Make it stop. Is this what you wanted? I'm asking you to make it stop. Orcus, come and make it stop.
At your words of saying that, there's a crackle of lightning that you can hear, even across all of the gurgling and groaning that you can hear from the undead that are piling on you at the moment. You hear a crack of lightning, and the pain stops, and you're just covered in the dust of your friends. But Ephemera is still there. Everything shifts and changes, and the same as what it did at the top of Raven's Bluff, you can see that you are now on that same ridge that you were on before. Same sky, same darkened sky and everything, but Ephemera is still there. She's the only one that hasn't disappeared. And the final image, as everything reverts to this hellscape that you're on, Ephemera's form sort of begins to turn to dust. And as it does, it reveals a face underneath, a haggish type creature, not quite corporeal, very incorporeal, shall I say. Looking towards you for the first time, I believe, you see the essence of Malagard staring at you with a sinister grin on her face. And you feel that presence behind you. Be gone, hag. You are not needed anymore. She watches, she looks up at this figure that is behind you, hisses, I will get my revenge on you, Ava. And I will not take orders from you anymore, because she sort of disappears off. Floats off into the sky, into the mist. You just hear a booming chuckle from behind you. You've still not been able to turn to face him yet. And you just hear his voice in your ear. Are you ready to beg?
Fuck
you. I can quite easily put you back there. It was very entertaining.
Please don't.
What do you have to apologize for?
Everything.
And what are you to your friends?
Evil. Nothing. Worthless.
Exactly. And you feel the searing pain as he rips your throat out again. And you collapse back into darkness. And that is where we are going to take a very quick break, I think, because Dad was a lot. So we're going to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break. We're going to make sure that everything is okay. And we will come back in a little bit with maybe something a little bit happier. Who knows? Maybe. We'll see you in 5 to 10 minutes. Bye. Let's go back in 5, 4. Deep breath. 3, 2, 1.
For you or me?
Both of us. Welcome back, everybody. We have had our short rest and we are going to dive back into... Sorry, I should say we've had our short rest. We've checked to make sure that everybody is okay. And we are going to dive straight back into this session. In the first half, we got to see the sort of torture that Orcus has been putting Ava through throughout the time that Ava has been wherever Ava currently is. And we've seen that Ava has still had a bit of a bite to her bark and has bitten back at Orcus. Orcus has made things worse. And we ended the last session with... maybe it was really Malagard, we're not 100% sure, revealing herself to Ava while Ava is being torn apart by zombified versions of all of her friends and her husband. And she finally apologized to Orcus and begged for forgiveness. But we now come into the next half of this session, and you can do this if you'd like to, everybody at home. Completely up to you, but I'd like you all to close your eyes for a moment and just picture the sound of rushing waves. The warmth of a summer breeze and the smell of freshly cut grass and the faint sounds of church bells ringing, ding 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 Ding, 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 ding. Ava, as you open your eyes, you can see that you are in a brilliantly white room. Curtains, a window open that leads out onto a balcony. The drapes are blowing in this light summer breeze. And as you open your eyes and look around, you can see on a mannequin on the other end of the room, there is a wedding dress. Beautifully displayed there, ready for you. And what woke you up was the light tapping of knocks on the door. What would you like to do?
It's my dress.
It's your wedding dress.
And I will leap out of bed, run to the door, pull it open, and I don't know who's outside, but go, I'm getting married today!
As you do that, you can see that there are other priests of Kenmvor who are similarly dressed in the sort of regalia of Kenmvor, but you can see as they begin to come in, they begin taking off some of their robes and stuff, and you can see that these are bridesmaids that have the people that you've grown up with who are happy and helping and just prepared to get you ready for this beautiful day. One of them comes in and has a large bag and begins pulling things out. You think there's way more stuff in there than what there should be, as they're pulling out hair accessories and makeup and jewelry, and they're pulling out bags and flowers and things for all of the other people. They are preparing you for your wedding. You're sat in front of this mirror that's on this dressing table, and your hair is being pulled up in. How would you think Ava would look on Ava's wedding day?
I think it's still simple. There's nothing glamorous or sophisticated, really. It's a humble life of service, and so even when it's a party and it's a celebration, it's still not wildly over the top. So I think it's a very beautiful but simple dress. Just go, belted in at the waist, falls to the ankles, little sleeves, but hair down. I think a crown of flowers, but no makeup, no fancy hair, no fancy shoes. It's a celebration, but it's still who we are as a community.
As your hair's being sorted out, one of the priestesses comes over with a small jewellery box. You know this person to be Grace, somebody who joined the church not long after you, probably a year or two after, and you became very quick friends. She looked towards you as sort of like an older sister and like a mentor, and she's your chief bridesmaid. She comes over and she opens up the box, this jewellery box, and you can see in there is a beautiful silver and platinum necklace that has the symbol of Kenmvor on it. And as she picks it up and goes to put it around your neck, there's like a flash in. It's almost like you're being pulled away from the scene, and you find yourself atop Raven's Bluff again. You are much younger, not the age that you were when you got married. You are 15, 14 at this point, maybe. And stood in front of you on his knees in a little pair of shorts, little suit that's a little bit too short for him. You can see Jeremiah is there, big wide eyes. He's like, I promise that I will marry you one day, Ava, and I have this to show for it. And he opens it up, and you can see there is this dandelion chain for a string with this piece of metal that looks like it's been forged into a symbol of Kenmvor. And I promise I will get you a proper necklace for our wedding day. May I put this around your neck, please?
You need to know that we are much too young, and that I'm not going to hold you to anything, because very pretty girls are arriving for Kenmvor.
None of them are as pretty as you.
You always know the right thing to say. Come on. Yes, you can.
Yeah. And he sort of unclicks the necklace at the back and moves back around you, moves your hair out of the way, and sort of puts the necklace on and clicks it. As I said, it's only temporary. I will scrimp and save until I can get you a proper necklace for our wedding.
This is perfect.
Now, crumpets and honey?
Always.
Always. And he leads you to the top of the ridge where you sit for a little picnic, and the memory pulls you back again, and you're back sat at the dressing table, sorry, with the necklace having been put on. You realise that you hadn't seen this necklace before, but this is Jeremiah keeping his promise that he was going to give you this on your wedding day. Bad luck to see the bride before the wedding, so didn't want to do that. Yeah.
It is beautiful, but Ava will reach into, like, just a pocket or a drawer of the dressing table or something that's hers, where she keeps her small collection of things, and bring out the much cruder. The dandelions are long dead, but the much cruder metal symbol, and she's just going to thread it on as well, so that they're both there.
The dandelions have had like a little bit of magical TLC done to them, so they haven't fully dissolved or anything, but yeah, you can hook the little... It's been done in a way that the sort of platinum silvery necklace has been shaped in a way that when you put the old version on, they slot together.
He knew. Oh, what a
So
guy.
it just rests there. And Grace is like, oh, he's going to love the fact that you like it. So I hope you like it. He's going to love it.
I love it.
You look beautiful. Right. I just need to go double check that Jeremiah and everybody are prepared, and that all of the decorations and the flowers and all of the guests have begun to arrive. So I'm going to leave you with everybody else here as they get you ready, and I will see you down there, okay?
Great.
Yeah.
Remember to breathe. It's
I
not
will
your
try.
wedding day. It will all be fine.
This has been really stressful, but I've loved it. Right. I'll see you in a
Being
little
a
bit.
maid of honour, that is valid.
Yeah. She sort of runs out of the door and begins. The door shuts, and all of the other maids, bridesmaids, and other members of your wedding party begin helping you get ready and everything like that. A little bit of time passes, and sort of it feels like things begin to speed up a little bit. People begin to move around and dot around, and it feels like you're just sort of sat there in your own little time bubble. Everything's just moving around normally for you, but everybody's shifting around really quickly. And then you hear another knock on the door, and the door opens and Grace is there, a little bit flustered. Her hair's a little bit out of place from where she's been running around quite a lot, quite red. It's like, right, everybody's here, everybody's in place, we are ready for you. Come on.
Did you remember to breathe?
I did just
There
then.
we go. Well done.
Thank you. Right, come on.
Shall we go get me married?
Let's go get you married. Picks up the big bouquet of flowers and hands that to you. Right, make sure that there's no... I know there's not much of a train, but make sure that whatever there is doesn't get dragged in the mud. We've got to go from the main house to the church, so just be careful. And you can see that some
Ava
of the...
rolls her eyes, but does pick up her skirt slightly.
You watch as you pick up your skirt, you watch as one of the smaller children that were in the room, one of the sort of newer acolytes for the church, sort of gets stuck under. She's probably 6 years old or something. She was orphaned. She had some horrible stuff happen to her, but she's, well, to her family at least. And she sort of sticks her head out with a big grin on her face and sort of goes back underneath, sort of rides
Meadow?
underneath it.
Meadow, do you want to hold it for me?
Yes, please.
Do you want to be my flower girl?
Oh, yeah, I love it.
I'll get a few spare flowers and stick them in her hair.
Oh, does that mean I get to walk down the aisle?
You'll do it really well.
Thank you. Hold your dress as you all walk out. You're led down the stairs and out of the main door. You can see as you get down the stairs that it opens out into this beautiful, almost like function hall type space, and you can see that there's people wearing serving clothing that are moving things around and beginning to put trays of food out with covers over them. You can see that there's this large, elongated, sort of like bird cage that has been placed over the top of probably the cake type thing is there. And there's another bird cage that's off in the distance that's near the back door. Don't know what's in there. You can see doves in there. They're probably going to release those at some point. And there's lots of seats and everything. You can see there is a very finely dressed man with an equally finely dressed woman, both of elven descent who have the typical bardish, big, fluffy Victorian things. They're quite smartly dressed with hats on their heads. They're strumming instruments, getting ready to play for the band and everything. And you're led outside, and you have to go across a small sort of section of dirt and well-trodden path to get to the Church of Cannonball. And the bells are ringing outside, and as you get up the steps, the doors open inwards, and you can see that the church itself has been decked to the nines, and there are lots of people that are sat in the seats going all the way down. And right at the other end, with a big grin on his face, uncontrollably crying as he sees you as the music starts, is Jeremiah. You are led down the aisle. Before you're led down the aisle,
slightly too fast down the aisle.
Just before you get down the aisle, or get a chance to walk down the aisle, an elderly figure steps out in front of you, and he smiles at you with a big grin. This is Franklin. He is the current head member of the Church of Cannonball, and he was the one who took you in when you first got here, along with Jeremiah. And he looks towards you with a deep smile on his face and he's like, would you do me the honour of letting me walk you down the aisle?
It would be the honour would be mine.
Oh, thank you. And looks towards Grace, who nods happily, and you can see that he looks quizzically down at the bottom of your dress as there's ruffling coming around in there, and out pops Meadow. It's a flower girl, yes. Well, I believe you need to head down the aisle first, little one. Here, please. And he reaches towards one of the where one of the stalls is and pulls out a bunch of flowers that have been put there. Grace doesn't look very happy about this because she spent lots of time doing that. And he sort of scrumples them up a bit and he hands them to her. It's like, throw those as you go down. Oh, okay, yeah. And she sort of begins skipping down, throwing the flowers everywhere. She's not quite sure how to do this. So there's a couple of times where she goes in someone's face, but she goes down and gets to the end, and Jeremiah is sort of cry laughing at this as the wedding music begins to play and Father Franklin begins to walk you down the aisle, and everybody sort of nods to you and gives you a smile, and you can hear muffled conversations of people saying how lovely your dress looks and how beautiful you look and everything. And as you get to the end, poor Jeremiah, he's a bubbling mess at this point. He's like, you look so nice. Oh, you're wearing the necklace. I'm so glad. Oh, and takes your hands. Oh. And stepping out from behind the altar at the front is a elderly woman. This is Sister Margaret. She's kind of like the head matron of the church. She's the one that tells you to go to bed at a certain time. And she's sort of like the head teacher of like the school side of things. She is the one that insisted that she marries you, not Franklin. She wanted to do it. And she's there, and she's got a big grin on her face. She's normally very stoic and doesn't really show a lot of emotion. She'll smiles and everything, but there's not any more emotion than that. But you can see that there is a tear going down one side of her face, and she quickly wipes it away. It's like, Now, the wedding happens, because I'm not going to recite the entire wedding vow. She will say, we are gathered here today, but I won't recite the whole thing, because otherwise we'll be sitting here for 20 minutes marrying Rebecca off to her NPC husband. So we won't do that. But one thing I do want to know, because I don't know if it's been described in any of the previous shows, so please do correct me if I'm wrong. What do the wedding rings look like?
They have never been described.
Asking the core questions here at Roll Together RPG.
They are really simple. They are platinum, so a silver colour, and just really simple bands. His is slightly thicker than hers.
And the rings are placed on your fingers, and the famous words, "You may now kiss the bride," are said, and you can both share a kiss. And he leans in and whispers in your ear, "That necklace looks even better than I thought it would. I'm so glad you like it."
Just missing a few dandelions.
I'm sure we can sort that out. And you both lead each other out of the church. All the people had left beforehand, and as you get outside, they formed a queue that goes from the bottom of the steps all the way back to the main house. And as you begin walking along, they start throwing flowers and petals and things at you, and there is music that is playing from inside that has somehow managed to echo outside, like it's basically taking up the entire space. And you enter into the function hall and sit and have your wedding reception. You have your first dance. Meadow is constantly asking you questions about getting married and about being a priest of Kelemvor, and is just really, really happy that you two are there. Grace is constantly running around making sure that everything is perfectly fine and nothing is going to go wrong. She eventually does get stopped by another one of the bridesmaids, and they sort of share a bit of an embrace with each other, and they sort of giggle at each other and everything, and then they go off and begin sort of dancing and things with each other. And the night ticks along nicely. And then that thing happens again where time begins to speed up. Jeremiah is looking towards you and talking. You sort of feel like you're in this bubble as everything's moving on around you. And then there's just like this brilliant white light that just encompasses you and then brings you back into the room, and you are somewhere different, slightly older than what you were on your wedding day. You're in your home, yours and Jeremiah's home. Where do you think you two would live now that you're happily married for nearly coming up to your 4th anniversary?
Oh no. So I think a temple is, maybe you could use the word cult, definitely an insular community. So I think not very many married couples, if you have like the main temple and then like buildings around the side forming like a cloister, and buildings of like where the school is and the dormitories, I think one of the walls is like a few small terraced little houses basically, where the more senior priests, well, the very senior priests will get their own, and the few married couples are permitted for as long as they wish to have one of those. So it's, a stone's throw away from everybody else, but you can at least shut your own front door.
Yeah. It's been one of those days where it's been full on. What would Ava's role be in the church now? What would Ava be doing?
She's been a part of Kelemvor's temple since she was born. She was marked out with the sign of Kelemvor, so like delivered to the temple instantly. So she is as senior as she will be until someone dies and she gets, moved into their position. So she's doing all the full jobs of a priest, which is, various roles ceremonially in the, 6 services a day. And in between those, I think she's probably graduated past, washing up all of the offering plates and, counting and all those things. And she's doing more of the ceremonial and pastoral stuff. So yes, taking part in all the services. In between, she might be talking to visiting pilgrims and praying with them. She'll spend a lot of time in private prayer because that's what you're expected to do. She might be working on a lesson to give some of the younger children, working on a talk that she'll give, like a sermon she'll preach at one of the bigger services coming up. Visiting the infirmary and sitting with the sick people that the temple cares for. So a real mix of ceremony and then just hard caring for people work.
And you can see as you're in your home preparing your notes for your next speech. Your home is one of those ones that's got living room and kitchen in the same room, and then there is a bedroom for you and Jeremiah, a washroom, and then there's another small room that has a small, slightly bigger bed inside of it. And as the door opens to that bed, you can see Meadow comes out, 10 years old now, having sort of moved in with the pair of you.
I was
And
going to ask if we could have her to come and stay. This is good.
she comes out and she's like, right, I've done all of my homework now. Can I go play in the fields now, please?
Let me look. Have you done it properly, or have you scribbled it very quickly so that it's done?
Yes.
Tell you what, before I look,
Okay.
if there was a chance that I would look and be a bit disappointed, do you want to take it and just go over your work and make sure you've really given it your best try?
Okay. Can I ask one question, though?
Always.
How do you spell epidemic?
That is a very good question. How do you think? What does it begin with? Sound it out.
E.
Well done.
P.
Well done.
E.
Epidemic.
P. I.
Done!
Oh, I've got it. Okay, right. And she runs back into the room and she doesn't bother shutting the door, but you can see that there's a small little desk in there that she has, and she climbs over her bed to get to it, and she can see that the desk itself looks out across the sort of courtyard area of the church, and she begins writing, and she's looking through it, and she looks up and she goes, Jeremiah's home, yeah. And she gets out, trips over the bed as she comes out of the room and sort of rolls into the living room with you. So I would just like to inform you that Jeremiah is home.
Go and give him a hug. Go
yes! On. She bursts out of the door, and 5-10 minutes pass, and you can see the silhouette of Jeremiah in the door. Just come back from a long journey. He's been away for probably about 3 weeks at this point. They needed to head off to one of the more eastern coastal towns to help with some raids that had not help with the raids. Wow, no, that's really dark. They needed one of the villages had been raided, and they needed to go and help with burial rites and burial and funeral rites, healing people, bringing any orphans or anything back here for people. So he comes back, he looks a bit dishevelled and like he's been walking for probably 2 weeks straight, and he walks in and pretty much collapses onto the sort of rickety sofa that you have, and it creaks under his weight as he falls on it. He's like, I'm home. And then you hear him go, "Whoa," as Meadow just runs in and bundles on him.
I call from the other room. I think Meadow might be coming to greet you.
Yeah, I got that. Thank you.
I've brought a bath. It's waiting.
Oh.
There is your favourite meal ready on the table when you're done.
Oh, I love you so much. Thank you.
I know, I'm wonderful.
You are. Do you know, you would be really good at doing these pilgrimages and these missions. I don't know. It would be really nice to have you come with me for one.
I would really like that. But then I would just whinge so much less than you about how tired my feet were, and that would make you look bad.
That is totally true. I am not going to deny that. And to be fair, you are doing quite good work with the children here and with all of the pilgrims and everything that come in. So, yeah, no, I get that.
The matron wants me preaching at the big harvest festival. She thinks I have a gift of communication, persuasion, some nonsense like that, but...
Sits bowl right up at that. Really? That's
yeah,
brilliant.
I was going to let you, clean up and have a rest before bragging at you, but yeah.
Oh, amazing. Well, before I get in the bath, I have a couple of things that I have for you first. And he gets up and he walks over, sort of pulls his bag off, goes to put it on the table, sees that all of your work is on the table and some of Meadow's drawings, pulls a chair out instead and puts his bag on that. And he goes, right, well, the first thing that I have for you, and he instantly just grabs you by the face and gives you the biggest smooch you've ever had in your life, and then gives you a big hug. That was the first thing. The second thing is, and he reaches into his backpack and he very delicately brings out 2 daisy chains, and he does this every single time he comes back. He hands one to you and he puts the other one on top of Meadow's head. So, right, well, yeah, I like that. And so I think I'm going to go have a wash and sit down and have something to eat, and then maybe get an early night.
I think of worse things. I had arranged a sleepover for Meadow back at the dormitories.
Okay. Goes to walk into the bathroom, turns around and goes, okay. Goes in to get washed. And you have a lovely night. We'll fade to black on that scene. Oh, that's a fizzy drink. I forgot that was fizzy. Sorry. Wow. That knocked my socks off. I was going to say something then, but I'm not going to.
I thought about it too and also chose not to.
The next morning, you awaken early to the smell of bacon and eggs cooking.
It's terrifying.
And as you go out into the kitchen, he is stood He's stood in the kitchen area and he's frying up some eggs and some bacon. You can see he's spinning around and he's got some beans on the hob as well. And you can see Meadow is up on a little stool. Even though she's 10, she's still quite short. So she gets up on a stool and she's cutting some like little avocado type of fruits and things, and some strawberries and some grapes and stuff. And she's putting it into a bowl for like a little fruit salad and stuff. And Jeremiah's flipping some eggs and things. You watch as he takes a jar of honey and takes a big scoop out of that and slavers that on the bacon and stuff and plates everything up, turns around and says, oh, you woke up. Thought I'd make some breakfast.
It smells
Puts everything
good.
on the table. You're waiting for the punchline, aren't you?
I am braced and ready, can't you tell?
Yeah. He sits down at the table and he pulls your chair out first because chivalry isn't dead. He pulls the chair out for you first and helps you sit down.
Josh, this is all too lovely. Everything that you do that is lovelier is just increasing the tension.
He pulls the seat out for Meadow, and Meadow sits down and he lifts the entire seat up and pushes her in. And she acts like she sort of, when he does that, she reverts to being a 6-year-old again, and she finds it hilarious. But yeah, you start eating. Before he sits down, he goes over and puts some more toast on, and every now and then he'll eat some food, get back up, flip the toast over, come back, and then he brings it over and slots it down so you can slather it in honey. Honey is something that you have in abundance in this house. You told me that that's the thing that you like, so you now have an abundance of it.
It's been reoccurring a lot.
Yeah. The big boss is a bee.
Oh no.
And Jeremiah's sitting there and he starts eating some food and just, right, well, I've been told that we need to head out in a couple of days for another mission. I know, but there is space if you want to come as well. I've spoken to the matron and she said that Meadow is more than welcome to sleep in the dormitories with everybody else while we're gone, and somebody will come in and look at, and Grace said that she'll come in and looking on all of this for us and make sure the flowers are watered and everything, but you're more than welcome to come with us if you'd like.
Be wonderful. I look at Meadow. How is she looking at the idea of being returned to the dormitories for a couple of weeks?
Make me an insight check, please.
Maths, 17.
17. So, we'll go into a little bit of Meadow's backstory here. Meadow was from one of the more inland village town areas, where a mining town, And very similar to where Jeremiah has just been, that town had been raided by bandits who wanted to steal the ore and stuff from the mines, and a lot of the villagers were killed. Meadow, and a few other children were the only ones that survived, and there were a couple of heavily injured people, but they passed away before they could be brought back to the church, because not all of the priests of Kenmore have access to healing magic, and all of the clerics and paladins and stuff weren't sent on that mission. So Jeremiah was one of the people that went on that mission, which was probably about 2 or 3 months before your wedding day, and brought Meadow back with some other children. The other children were eventually sort of fostered elsewhere. Some went to Baldur's Gate, some went to Neverwinter. Oh my God, Neverwinter. And some went to Waterdeep.
They're all fine.
They're all fine. But Meadow was very withdrawn in herself and wouldn't talk to anybody. So nobody actually kind of wanted to take her on. So the church said that they'd keep her there. And you two both formed a really strong connection with each other, along with Jeremiah. And she's always looked up to the pair of you. So at the mention of you leaving as well, she does look a little bit sad at the thought of you both leaving, because in all of this time, it's coming up to 4 years, or it's just gone past the 4-year anniversary of her being with the church. This will be the first time that she's been away from you properly. So she looks a little bit sad, but she looks towards you and she's like, I mean, I don't want you to feel like you need to stay. You keep saying to me that when I grow up, I need to go out and I need to explore the world. The same goes for you. I don't want to be the reason that you're held back and end up staying here.
Oh, my love, you would never be the reason to hold me back. I think, though, and making that, the parent eye contact, while your tone and your words are saying one thing, but the eye contact's going, like, there's more to this, not in front of the kid. And so she's making that eye contact with Jeremiah whilst going, oh, I mean, sweetheart, what do you think sounds better? Tramping out in the muddy, cold fields and sleeping on the ground and listening to Jeremiah whinge and eating, week-old stale rations, or staying here in our lovely warm house with you, getting to spend time together, see your amazing drawings, and being here all smug and rested, ready to look after Jeremiah when he comes back. Which one do you think sounds better?
Oh, well, when you put it that way, I like the idea of the second option, although you have to make me a promise first. The promise is, when I'm old enough, we go somewhere like that together. We go with Jeremiah together.
Sounds wonderful. The three of us.
The three of us, yeah.
Family trip.
Family trip. Oh, family trip. Yeah.
I pick her up and give her a big... She's little. No 10-year-old is always too big to be picked up. I pick her up and give her a hug. And over her head, I mouth to Jeremiah's.
He nods with understanding. He's like, you both know each other for long enough that there is almost... It's not a magical sort of telepathy between the two of you, but there is that whole, it's fine, I know, I thought it was a long shot, but I thought I'd ask sort of thing, is what you get from his facial expression. Doesn't look disappointed or anything. I'll carry your insight check over. He doesn't look disappointed or anything. If anything, he looks loving and proud at the fact that you two are having this tender moment between you. And he does pipe up and go, you know what, family trip sounds absolutely fantastic. I'll tell you what we'll do. When I'm back, I found this beautiful spot that we could all go to as a family, and we can make a little camping trip of it between us. We've both, myself and Ava, have got some time off coming, so that sounds like a good idea.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. We will make plans for when I return. Sorry, I didn't just ominously look at the camera.
No ominous here.
No ominous. Before we come to the day that Jeremiah leaves, is there anything that you would like to do with Jeremiah, or at the church or with Meadow or anything like that?
It's normal. It's just normal routine. Nothing is bad. Nothing is going to happen. This is completely normal, so life will continue as usual. Ava will do what she always does and get a bunch of dandelions. It's her equivalent of the daisy chain, and just tuck them in a corner of his bag somewhere.
Yeah. He spends a lot of time over the past couple of days washing his stuff and everything, and it gets to the day that he is due to leave. His bag is fully packed and everything, and he puts it on his back. There is something that is slightly concerning about this image that you have of him at the minute. And normally when he leaves, he's wearing his full Killenvor priest attire and big bag on his back, necklace and all of that sort of stuff. But this time he looks a little bit more padded out. He's wearing a bit more, he's actually wearing some form of armor, sort of leathery armor with the Killenvor symbols on. And at one point you do catch him. He makes sure that Meadow doesn't see this, but he does have a dagger and a sword that he puts into his bag and one onto his belt. He's like, right. Turns around and sees you in the doorway.
Violence.
Sorry?
You don't believe in violence?
I don't, but I've been told that we may need to take weapons for protection this time. I have no intention of drawing them, but I need to be... They wouldn't let me come on it if I didn't at least have them on me.
I thought we were past this. You being told to take armor and weapons is the kind of information you share with me?
It was something that I got very last minute, and you've been so busy with preparing your speech and everything. I mean, I
am never too busy to know about you and if you are safe.
I'll be safe. We've got paladins and clerics going with this time round. We're going a bit deeper into the woods. There's been another report of bandit raids and things, and so it's a bit closer to where they believe one of the encampments is. So the plan is to get there, check on survivors, heal people, and then get out as soon as we can. So, but I'll be safe, I promise.
Just next time, tell me.
I'm sorry.
Wasn't some way to find out?
I'm sorry. I didn't want to distract you from your speech. I mean, that's going to be. He looks at a fake watch on his wrist because Josh did that for some reason. We need to go to that. You've got that in a little bit, haven't you?
It will be okay. He leans up and gives him a kiss and goes, "Be safe. Be a hero. Come back."
I will. Give you a kiss back. Notices that you still have the necklace on, and he gives a slight little chuckle to that. Sort of like a very loving. I love the fact that you wear that every day sort of look. Oddly enough, there have been a couple of times where he's noticed that you've not been wearing your wedding ring for various cake baking reasons, or, putting your hand in something dirty or something before you sort of rose up the echelons, and he's never batted an eyelid at it. But when you're not wearing the necklace, sometimes he comments on it. Not in like a derogative way or anything, but he's like, "Oh, where's the necklace?" sort of thing. So he doesn't seem to notice that you're not wearing the ring, but the necklace he notices.
Okay.
And he pulls out a small chain, and he's like, "Do you mind?" He sort of pulls the necklace out and he unclicks the part. Which one would you like to keep?
Yours.
So that would be the handcrafted one, wouldn't it? So he hands you the handcrafted one, and he takes the silvered and platinum one, and he clicks that on. He's like, "This is so you know I'm going to come back." Okay.
You better. You're stealing my jewellery.
Clicks it on and holds it. Right. Let's go do your speech.
It's going to be great.
I've told them that I won't leave until I've heard it. So, and I've made sure not to be anywhere near the mirror. Now, Josh isn't going to be an evil DM. I'm not going to make you recite a speech off the top of your head right now.
Bring it. No.
Okay, now that you've said that.
No, thank you.
You head to the church, and there's been a large gathering of people ready to hear your speech. I'm not going to make you roll any sort of a check or anything for this because I feel that would be mean.
Yes, also Ava's stat blocks pre everything. I've no idea what they'd be.
Yeah. So you deliver this speech, and you've been working on it for a long time. Once the speech is finished, there is an uproar of clapping, and everybody is very happy with everything. And you can just see, just in the corner, right at the back, sorry, because he didn't want to walk in wearing almost full armor and weapons and things. Jeremiah's there in the doorway with a big smile on his face, and he just nods towards you, and you can see him mouth the words, "Well done, I love you." And then he turns and heads out, and that's the last time that you see him.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks pass. You and Meadow do exactly what you said. You have nice toasty meals. You draw lots of pictures. You help Meadow with her homework. She is insistent on not doing it, but you know, she does it. Her 11th birthday passes. Your 4th wedding anniversary passes. You know that Jeremiah very rarely misses the wedding anniversaries, but you know, that when he comes back, you are going to do something big. So, because he has always been sort of lavish with, taking you for picnics, having fireworks on display and ready, organising massive parties with all of your friends coming. He always tries to do something to catch you off guard and surprise you. Would you say it works every time, or?
Oh yeah, he's good at it.
He knows
I think
you too well.
I'm not always surprised because he might not be the sneakiest person, but it's always great.
And on this day, it's a little bit downtrodden outside. There's a bit of rain. The ground's a bit wet, and Meadow's in her room. And you can, as you're in the front room, kitchen area doing whatever you're doing, you hear her go, oh, I think they're home. Oh, I think Jeremiah's home. Oh, yeah. And she goes to run out of the door.
Let's go find out.
You both run out of the door, and you can see that there are all of these people walking up the hill towards where the church is and the little sort of settlement that you have. All of these people are wearing heavy raincoat attires, so all of their faces are covered, but you can see that there are a lot of injured people. People have their arms in slings, they're on crutches and everything, and they're moving along. And then you see the carts of bodies being pulled up the slope right at the end, and you watch as Father Franklin comes out. He's very close to retirement at this point. He comes out and he's looking over everybody's, oh no, what happened? And you can, as you approach, you can hear one of the paladins of Kellenvor who went with them. Like, it was a complete and utter shit show. We got there, but there were no survivors. There were some bandits dressed up as villagers, and as soon as we got close to them, they sprung an attack and attacked us. We just about got out of there alive. Any casualties? All of our dead are in the carts. They're all ours. We brought some of the villagers with us as well, but most of them are our own dead. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. Let's get all of them. Let's get all of them out of the wet so we can begin preparing funeral rites and let their families know and begin the grieving process, he says, as he tries to stern himself up a bit, but he's a bit shaky and wobbly because this thing that's just happened has hit him like a train as you approach. Oh, Ava, there's been a bit of a sees young Meadow. Young Meadow, would you please go inside? I believe Grace needs some help with the flowers and things in the dormitory area, if that's okay. Yeah, I'll go help Sister Grace. Yeah, okay. And she runs inside. She looks towards you with a bit of a worried look on her face before she leaves.
It'll be all right.
Okay. She sort of runs inside, and you watch as she bumps into Sister Grace, and Sister Grace is wearing sort of like the second in command of the matron sort of outfit. She's currently training to take the matron's place. like an apprentice type thing. And she smiles at her and they lead her off. Grace looks to you and sort of mouths everything okay towards you. Looks a bit concerned, but sees some of the injured people and like nods and looks back down towards Meadow with a big smile and leads her off towards the dormitories to help with the restocking of everything there. Right, it's a bit of a difficult task, Ava, but would you be able to help with identifying the bodies? And IDing is definitely not a word they use in fantasy terms. Would you be able to help identifying bodies and begin preparing them for funeral rites?
Absolutely, yes.
Sister Ava, it is good to see you again. This is Greg, because easy name. Greg, name's Gregory. I don't know if you remember me, but it's a pleasure to see you.
I'm sorry for your hardship. It must have been awful.
It was.
How can I help?
We just need some help moving bodies, if that's okay. You can see some other priests and priestesses begin coming out to start helping as well. They get met by paladins and clerics who begin sort of giving off the injured, who begin getting taken inside, and then some more come out to begin helping with the bodies, and they start pulling bodies out of the carts and moving them towards a sort of barn area that you have. You can see that there's people in the barn area who are taking out the hay and stuff so they can start putting the bodies in there. Sister Ava, and he can't look at you as he says this. Jeremiah,
where is he? Is he bringing up the rear? Has he gone on to check other villages? I can't see him.
There was an incident during the ambush where sort of chokes on his words a little bit. We found a child, and he went to help them, but one of the bandits got behind him, and I'm sorry, but he didn't make it.
Did he stay with the child to find their home? He's coming later.
I'm sorry, Sister Ava. And he leads you round to one of the carts that is carrying just a singular body on it. The rest of them have been piled up in larger carts, but this is just a single cart. And you can see laying there with the neck, holding onto a necklace with a stab wound through his chest. You can see Jeremiah laying there unmoving.
No.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. He's playing a joke, or it's not. He comes back. He always comes back. He promised. Jeremiah, wake up. This isn't funny. And we'll start, shaking him. Come on, this isn't funny. I've got work to do. You'll scare Meadow. Get up.
He's unmoving. He's at that point now where his body's locked in place. The rigor mortis is set in, and as you move him, he's like cardboard. He's like metal. He just doesn't. He sort of moves like this, but his arms, nothing flails around separately like it should do if somebody was asleep.
He promised.
I'm so sorry, Sister Ava. We can get some other people to come and move his body into the shrine area for final rites.
Take him home. Bring him to my house. He can come home, and I'll look after him.
Are you sure? What about Meadow?
She's with Grace. Grace will look after her. Don't let her come home till I've got him cleaned up and ready. I'm doing it.
I will let Grace know. Okay. You there? Come and help me. And one of the younger lads runs over, looks in the cart, sees it's Jeremiah, and still starts to tear up a bit. This is Malcolm. He was sort of understudy to Jeremiah, or a pupil to Jeremiah's when Jeremiah was in the town. That was home.
It'll be okay. It's okay.
Yes, miss. Okay. And begin sort of sliding him out. His body was laying on a stretcher, so they slide the stretcher out. They're very delicate with it, and they move him towards your home. Where would you like us to place him?
I just shove Meadow's drawings and notes from my sermon off the table. Go just on the dining table.
Okay, they place him on the table. Somebody will be along shortly with cleaning.
I'll do it. I don't want anyone. Leave, go, shut the door. I'll come and find someone when he's ready.
Okay, they say as they nod their heads and they shut the door behind them, and you are left in your home with Jeremiah. The pictures that Meadow had drawn, pictures of the three of you camping out in a woodland area with a mountain range in the distance, something that you were going to do when he got back off in the distance. Scattered on the floor, a fresh drawing of him hugging her and telling her a story while she was asleep on the floor, scattered in with your notes for your next speech. And you notice that in one of the speeches you mention him by name and how strong he's been for you. Sorry, I'm really put on these heartstrings right now. But yeah, he's laying there.
Ava will pull out a chair by his head and just sit down and stroke his hair. Will slowly unfurl his fingers one by one from the necklace and then hold his hand instead.
Hold his hand.
Just sit there holding his hand, stroking his hair. Just saying again and again, you promised. You promised to come back. Come back. You promised me you'd come back, so come back.
Complete silence around. You can hear... There's complete silence around you in the apartment, but you can hear muffled cries and horses neighing and everything outside where people are finding their loved ones who've passed away and everything. So this is something that's being felt within the community as a whole. But you sit there for what feels like an eternity, but it's probably no more than 5 minutes. But for anybody who's been through this in real life, this sort of thing feels like it takes forever. It feels like you're just in this moment, this awful, awful moment forever. And it makes you think all of those happy moments, they truly say time flies when you're having fun. And it's difficult for you to remember all of the good times that you had together because in this exact moment, they're so fleeting. And now you're just there with him laying on the table.
I think, yeah. For a while, Ava stopped saying anything. Is probably crying too hard to be able to, but never lets go of his hand and never stops stroking his hair, just keeps doing that mechanically as it's something to do. But then after a while, I think past the window sees like a lagging priest who was bringing up the vanguard finally come home and sees his wife and his anxious children shout with relief. And, the wife runs into his arms and goes, I thought you were dead. I thought like Jeremiah. And at that, Ava just loses it. She gets up, she closes the shutters, she shuts out the outside world, and she leans over Jeremiah's body on the table and just shouts into his face, come back, I will make you come back. I don't care what it takes. Something is going to make you come back if it kills me, so come back.
The There's no response from Jeremiah. No response from the universe, really. There's just nothing. I will say that when you unfurled his fingers, that silver and platinum symbol of Kelemvor wasn't there. It was just a broken chain around his neck.
That breaks her. Yeah, I think she's going to just lean against him, crumple against him, and just cry. And then just, end up curled up next to him. I don't know how much time passes.
I'm not sure how much time passes, but for the audience, for me, for Rebecca, the sun comes up and the sun goes back down again. And then it does it again. At least 2 days pass. Nothing happens to Jeremiah's body in terms of like decay and stuff. It seems that because there were clerics and paladins with them, somebody's probably cast a gentle repose on him so his body stays in stasis for as long as possible. I think it's 10 days, I think the spell lasts for. So you don't get that unfortunate thing happen. But you wake up with him still there in that timeless position to a light knock on the door.
I ignore it.
And you hear a voice. Ava? It's Grace. Are you okay?
I ignore it.
You can see some movement outside the shutters as she's trying to peek in. I just wanted to make sure you were okay. Meadow's been asking for you. We've kept her in the dormitory with the other kids for the moment, but we haven't told her about Jeremiah yet. We wanted to make sure that you were okay. We thought that it would be inappropriate for us to say anything. We thought it might be better coming from you. I'm so sorry.
Please go away.
I will. I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Oh, okay. Do you think I am? Please go away.
I'll come back another time. And she walks off.
That has disturbed Ava enough that she will look at Jeremiah and realise that there are things she does need to do when he comes back. And so run a bowl of warm water and get some soap and some cloth and clean the dirt and the blood and the grass stains. She knows that she's preparing him for burial, but she's ignoring that through gritted teeth and telling herself that she's preparing him for when someone or something comes to help, because Jeremiah does not die. That is not what happens in her life. And so she is cleaning him up so he can get back to work when he's alive again.
You prepare hot water to begin scrubbing the dirt off of him and everything. And as you do, it sends memories through your mind of the first time, every single time when he returns and he first gets into the bath. He always goes, "Oh, bloody hell, this is too hot," as he gets in. But then as soon as he's in it, he's like, "Oh my God, this is so good." Or, "Oh, by Kelemvor, this is so good," as he sort of sinks into it. And that sort of memory flows through your head as you see the hot water. You prepared a bowl underneath the end of the table as you've washed his hair out, and all of the drag ends of dirt and things and blood sort of filter out and fill that bowl up. You can strip him of his dirty clothing and begin putting him back into his favourite piece of gear, that doesn't sound very nice. His favourite regalia that he wears, Kelemvor clothing. At this point, even though he's been gentle reposed, the rigor mortis does loosen up a bit, so you can reposition his hands into whatever way you like, and you can remove the broken chain from his neck. And you clean up his wound and everything. And yeah, after some time, he is there, pristine as he can be.
I gather some of the flowers that are just always in window boxes, and make a daisy chain and put it on his head.
Put it on his head.
And then I sit and I wait. I don't know what I'm waiting for.
Do you do any praying while you're waiting? Do you try to speak to Cannonvor in any sort of way?
I think she hasn't. She's been in such shock because this isn't how it's supposed to happen. This isn't how it's supposed to go. But at this point, I think she finally is in a space where she does reach out to Kellenvor, and there's just nothing. He doesn't answer. He's not there.
Doesn't
and
reply.
So she starts, like she did at first, but less desperate, starts casting round again, going, well, okay, if Kellenvor's not listening, let's see who else is. Anyone, bring him back.
Sort of a darkness that sort of descends on the room that you're in, and the little candles that you have lit around to give you light, and the lanterns and things, they dim a little bit, and then they flare up in this greeny red fire that emanates around the room, and you just hear a cackling noise sort of echo around the room. You've lost your loved one. You are distraught. Oh no, you look so sad. I can help you.
Help me, please. Bring him back.
Oh. We must strike a deal, though. I can bring him back. You will give me anything I want to bring your loved one back?
Anything. What do you want? Have it.
I want everything. Anything I want. I can ask for anything. Then we have a deal. You watch as this shadow begins to form from smoke that is emitted from this green fire, and you watch as this big smiley face appears and then descends down into Jeremiah's body, sort of fully encompassing it. And there's a little bit of time that passes, and as you're holding onto his hand, you feel a squeeze back, and he opens his eyes and looks towards you, but you notice that he's not breathing. Ava?
You shout just into the room. I said back.
You made the deal. You didn't say the specifications. The flames go back to their normal hue. Ava? Why can I taste ash in my mouth?
You died. You're dead.
You're incredibly warm to touch. And you sit up, you can see that no blood has filled into his face at all. He's still that pale, deathly white as he looks over at you. Oh, it's good to see you.
Yeah, you do.
Sort of grabs you by the back of your head and sort of puts your head against his forehead. And as he pulls away, part of your hair and gets interlocked with the daisy chain and sort of snaps it, and it falls down. He's like, oh, where's my necklace gone?
You didn't have it. It broke.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He looks at his hand. What's happened to me?
You're dead.
How am I here?
You're undead.
What?
I didn't mean. I asked her to bring you back and I didn't. She did. I'm
Who?
sorry. I don't know.
This wasn't granted by Kellenvor?
Kellenvor left. Kellenvor's gone. I'm not sure Kellenvor was ever. Okay, it's going to be. We are going to hide you, and in a couple of days we are going to run, and it's going to be okay. So you are going to hide, and I am going to work out how your body mysteriously vanished. And we're going to have to leave Meadow behind because we can't.
What?
We can't bring her into this. We'll ruin her life.
I love her. I love you. We can't. We're a family.
We're a family. But if we leave now, then she is heartbroken and she will grow up and get over it if we take her with us. She's implicated. She's a fugitive. She loses everything.
He really doesn't like the sound of this, but...
I'm so sorry.
Okay. He gets up off of the table. You hear the cracking of bones as his feet touch the floor. Ow. Okay.
I'm so sorry. I just wanted you back. You promised to come back.
I'm so sorry. And he just walks into your bedroom and shuts the door behind him.
Okay. Ava will wait till it's dark. She will load up pillows and blankets on the stretcher till it's a sort of humanoid shape. She will cover it with a sheet. She will go out and find Malcolm.
Yep, you go out to find Malcolm. Malcolm has been it's been a couple of days now since they all came back. So he's not wearing his full paladin armor or anything, but he's no, Malcolm was the was his understudy.
Jeremiah's boy.
Yeah, so he's sort of wandering around a little bit, sort of unsure what to do with himself, and you can bump into him in the main in the barn area preparing. They've finishing the preparations on the other bodies because it takes a little while to do. Oh, Miss Sister Ava, sorry about Jeremiah.
Thanks. I need your help.
Anything I can help with, whatever you need.
It's not really following the rules, but I need it.
Okay.
Jeremiah had this spot that he was desperate to take us on holiday. It was his idea of heaven. I can't leave him to join a mass victim's grave here. I want to take him. It's not far, it's only a mile. I want to take him there and bury him there where he wanted us to be. But I can't lift him by myself. Will you help?
Of course, yes. I can. Do we need anybody else?
I can do. He's on a stretcher. I can do one end. If you do the other, we can just load him up on a cart, and then I just need help getting him on.
Okay, yeah.
We're not meant to do this. Is that okay?
Anything for Jeremiah, and for you. Okay, and he'll come and give you a hand. He enters into your home, and goes to lift the thing up.
Ava realizes far too late. It's much too late. She should have put stones on, but she's just gonna not react. Like, death changes us all.
Lifts it up and gives a quizzical look, but doesn't question it, and pulls it out and takes it to the cart that Jeremiah was originally bought to. Make me a performance check, please. I want to see how well you packed and stacked this thing. See if a little pillow pokes out somewhere.
Can I give myself disadvantage? Because, she's not functioning super well. Still an 18 with disadvantage because charisma. Yeah.
So he doesn't seem to notice it, but you slide that into the cart, and he sort of looks you up and down. So, do you need? You say it's a mile away, but do you need any preparations or anything to take with you?
Thank you. No, I have everything I need. and I can slide him at the other end. You shouldn't get yourself in any trouble. I'll be back.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sort of looks back at the cart again with that sort of quizzical look, and then makes his way back towards the barns. As he makes his way back towards the barns, you can see coming out of the main church area, you can see Grace is with Meadow. And Meadow sees you and she runs over to you. She's like, Ava, where have you been?
I go. We can't have this conversation right now. I go.
Where do you go?
Like there's a horse and cart. On the cart, drive the horse out.
Yeah, you go off, and Grace is like, hey, not Grace, sorry, Meadow's like, Ava, where are you going? And you sort of go off, and Grace runs after Meadow and stops her from going as you leave the town, or leave the little settlement that you're in.
I mean, So I get outside of view of the temple compound. I hang out for approximately the amount of time it would take me to get to the camping spot, dig a grave, bury Jeremiah, fill in a grave, and come back again.
Probably about 2 hours, I'd say, with digging a grave.
I get rid of all the blankets and pillows, and I scatter them along the way, or in ruined buildings, or in ditches, and then I turn around to come back.
As you begin making your way back, you get back to the settlement, get off the horse and cart. Something alarming you notice is that the door to your apartment is open.
No, it shouldn't be. Everything's fine. I go in as fast as I can while seeming normal.
You make your way in, and everything looks as it did. Yeah, a few of the pictures have been picked up off of the floor and now on the table. You can see there's a couple of drawing pens and things. There's a new picture there that looks like it's been drawn by Meadow, but your bedroom door's still shut.
I close the front door and go into our room.
You go into your room and you can see Jeremiah is sat on the bed and he looks up towards you. I'm sorry. Meadow came in. She thought I was home. She came into the room and then went running out screaming.
What did she see?
Just gestures towards him, me.
Were you moving? Were you lying still? Is there any chance she thought she saw your dead body?
I was laying down. And then I got up to say hello to her and she went screaming.
Okay, we need to go now. We're going now.
Okay. And he gets up, you see he puts a picture down that he'd picked up from outside. And as you both go to leave, you can see figures stood in the doorway. Just outside of the apartment.
Push Jeremiah behind me and back into the house.
Father Franklin walks in. Actually, no, Father Franklin doesn't walk in. It's a different person that walks in. This is... Oh, hang on. I'm trying to think of what his name is. Josh needs a moment. Give me a name.
I can only think of other NPCs. Bartholomew.
Father Bartholomew walks in. This is the person who is due to take over from Father Franklin when he retires, which is in a couple of days. And he's a bit more stricter than what Father Franklin is. He walks in and he looks at you, looks at Jeremiah with disgust and disappointment on his face. Ava, what have you done?
I didn't mean to. But it's Jeremiah. It's still Jeremiah. It's our Jeremiah.
This goes against all of the laws of the Church of Kellenvor.
No, I didn't do it on purpose, but I prayed and Kellenvor didn't answer, and someone else did, and I didn't mean to, and I didn't. But look, it's Jeremiah. Can't you see? It's Jeremiah. It's still him. Maybe we've been wrong. It's going to be okay. You just need to give him a chance.
No, I'm sorry.
Hear us out.
Our Lord's rules are clear. We must purge him.
Our Lord was not clear when I needed him over these last 3 days, so maybe our Lord is wrong.
sees him, and you watch as some of the paladins begin coming in, and they have their weapons drawn, ready to attack because they don't know what Jeremiah's going to do.
Ava will body shield. She is not a big woman, but she will body shield Jeremiah and be like, you do not touch him. It is still Jeremiah. He is different. It is strange. It is new, but it is still Jeremiah, and you do not touch him.
You get handled in a way where you're pulled away from Jeremiah, and one of the ones that pulls you away is Greg, as he pulls you away and sort of tries to hold on to you. At this point, you're not quite Ava the badass. You're not quite.
I mean, I think she is feral, so she will be scratching and biting and begging, especially because she knows Greg, to let her go. Can't you see? But yeah, she can't fight. She's never had to fight a day in her life. She has no. Badass Ava can't fight physically. She's trying. She is screaming and kicking and biting, but she isn't doing any good.
And you watch as the paladins lead Jeremiah out, and he's led to the middle of this settlement area. You've got the church, the sort of function hall area, the block of apartments and dormitories and school and everything, and it's this small little courtyard area. You see all of this wood has been piled up and a fire has been set. And Jeremiah is led to the foot of the fire, and you're led with them. And Bartholomew looks around and gestures for a couple of other paladins to grab you, and you're sort of stood there, sort of pushed down to your knees to watch. And Bartholomew sort of looks out across everybody and begins to recite a speech to them. I, Bartholomew, Father Bartholomew, am now in charge of this church of Kelemvor. Father Franklin has taken ill and is no longer able to lead the church. It seems that the deaths of our people have hit him harder than what they should have, and he has had to take early retirement. So I am stepping in as lead. As you can see, one of our priests has been returned to us as an undead. And as we all know, Kelemvor does not think highly of undead and believes that they are all abominations and that they must all be purged. Ava, you have brought this abomination into this world, and therefore you must bear witness to its destruction.
Just whatever you want to me, please. Just give him, let him be. You can send him away. He won't do any harm. Just don't.
Ava.
I love him.
Ava. Just, gee, his name just left my brain. As Jeremiah looks towards you, it's okay. It's okay. You watch as his head gets cut from his shoulders and falls to the floor. And you watch as the paladins just begin hacking away at his body. Some of them take maces to it and crush his hands. Others take knives and cut away. There's one point where you do flinch at this sight, and you just notice over in the corner Meadow watching, with Grace trying to shield her from watching, but she's she's screaming and crying. And you watch as Jeremiah is ripped apart and his body is thrown onto the flames, and they just erupt upwards. The paladins let you go, so you just slump to the floor. And Bartholomew just looks over. Justice has been served. Our Father will be pleased with this. Ava, you'll be put on house arrest until a decision can be made as to what to do with you after these actions.
I will make sure you burn.
And he just walks away. He doesn't take your threat doesn't take it seriously, and just walks off. As you watch Jeremiah's body burn, Sister Grace walks over to you and kneels down beside you, tears flooding out of her eyes. In the other side, you can see Meadow comes to you, and she looks towards you. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. I was just shocked and so happy.
Pull Meadow into me, but over her head to Grace. Go, why? How could you be so stupid as to let her see? She should not have been here. What have you done?
I'm so sorry. We were told that you'd left with him, so I took her home to get some bits.
Why is she here? Why couldn't you have kept her away?
Well, we thought we were doing the right thing. I tried to stop her from seeing what just happened, but she wanted.
You're a grown woman, and she is a small child. Try harder.
You can just feel as Meadow sort of pulls you in tighter for a tighter hug, and it's at this point that some of the paladins step forward again, and they sort of pull Grace away.
Give me just 1 minute, please.
Grace is pulled away, but you're still holding on to Meadow.
I let go of Meadow and set her back so I can hold onto her shoulders and make eye contact.
Yeah,
I'm
her
still
back is to
kneeling,
the
so
fire.
we're eye level.
Yeah, her back's to the fire, and that light is just sort of echoing around her.
Look at me. Look at me. Don't look at the fire. Look at me.
Okay.
You are so loved. I love you more than life itself. Jeremiah loved you. You were his sun and his moon. You are the good that is left in the world, so you need to go with Sister Grace. You need to love her like your big sister. You need to do as you're told until you're old enough to get out and make a new life for yourself somewhere safe. And you need to keep remembering that you are loved and that it's going to be okay. And I can't see you anymore, but I love you.
She gives you a big. She looks towards Sister Grace, who nods towards her, and just before she goes to leave away, she gives you a big, massive hug, and you just hear in your ear, "I love you too, Mum." And then she's sort of pulled away by one of the paladins, a little bit more sort of viciously than you might have liked, and Sister Grace steps in and slaps his hand away, and then grabs her and pulls her in for a hug, and then leads her away. And the last thing you see of Sister Grace's and Meadow is both of Sister Grace just mouthing to you, "I'm sorry," and leading her back into the building. You are picked up by the two paladins that are there. Neither of them are Greg, and you are taken back to your house, and they are positioned outside of it, and you are left in the darkness. And as you're left in the darkness, that sinister green light comes back to the flames, and you hear that voice, the smoke billowing out. "Oh, that didn't quite go according to plan now, did it? Oh, shame. But we did strike a bargain, and there's some things that I would like."
Get me out of here. I move around the kitchen. I'm throwing things into a bag. Food, knives, warm clothing, and so packing a light go bag. Get me out of here and I'll do what you want.
Oh. Okay. Do me a favour, though.
So, what?
Just do me this one thing. Touch the fire over there. Do it.
If I do, you need to get me into Father Bartholomew's house while he sleeps so I can kill him.
Oh, I want you to do more than that. There's a lot of paladins and clerics around here who don't like undead. I want you to kill all of them. Don't let any of them live.
To help.
Oh, I'm going to give you the power to do it yourself. You won't need me. Just touch the fire.
I go over to the fire and go to do it, but it's fire. And then look out of the window where the bonfire is still smouldering and stick my hand in the fire.
As you stick your hand in the fire, it doesn't burn you, but you watch as the green flames lick begin to flare up through your fingertips and begin to lick round your arms and singe your skin, but without leaving any sort of sign of pain or anything, or any scars. And you feel this power just flow through you to the point where your fingers are left with smouldering green flames coming off the top of them. And Ava the badass is back, basically.
Yeah.
And you go into a blind rage. We come to the outside of your house as the entire front wall just explodes outward from this impact of power. Both of those two paladins get crushed under the might of the wall. And as you step out, paladins and clerics look around. Demon, get her! Shing! They draw their swords. It's at this point you notice a searing pain come out of your back as your wings that you've had a long time. You've been flying around. You flew around with Jeremiah quite a lot, as we described at the beginning of the episode. And as we described in that horrible scene towards the end, your feathers begin to fall off as this dark complexion takes you, and some of the clerics and paladins begin to cower in fear as you begin blasting away at them. This could be a combat that we could do, but I feel it makes more sense for it to be a little bit more cinematic. And you can make your way to Father Bartholomew's, killing along the way. Any innocents, you don't touch. And you don't touch any of them, but you make your way up to Father Bartholomew's, to his prayer chamber. He's not in his room, but he's in his prayer chamber. And as you burst through the door, he turns around and looks towards you. What are you doing here? Get out, you traitor.
Get back on your knees.
No, why would I get back on?
He will not answer you.
I do not fear you, girl.
I want to force him onto his knees. I don't know what spell it would be, but I'm assuming that Malagard will help. I want to get him on his knees.
This is kind of an upgraded version of Ava at the moment. So, yeah, that same thing that you witnessed in that we saw in the first half, where the sort of anti-gravity thing happened, he gets pulled down onto his knees, and he's, why can't I move? What are you doing? What devilry is this?
Have you never been held down, forced on your knees, waiting for someone with more power to hurt you? Is it not a nice feeling?
Stop this, Ava, before you can never return.
That's the plan. And Ava's not going to do any magic. She took out a bread knife from her house. She wants to start at his navel, get right into his bowels and his intestines, and just pull up so his stomach acid leaks. It is slow, it is humiliating, it smells bad, it is painful. Ava's going to stand there and watch, and then light a match from a taper he's got burning, and just drop it in the bowl of holy chrism oil that there is in his prayer room, and then just spill it across the room.
As he gargles
now
on
it's your turn to burn.
You never be forgiven for this. As he gargles on his own acid and blood, as the flames begin to lick up around him, and you begin to hear him scream out gargled screams as the flames encompass over him. You can see just coming out of the flames, smiling face. Excellent. Oh, we're going to have so much fun together. I'll see you soon.
Ava turns and walks out of the house. She is lit in the background by this burning house and Bartholomew screams and dead paladins all around. She's just so serene. She has a little, very eerie smile on her face. Gets a very good horse, and rides out.
And as you ride out, and ride, and ride, and ride, everything begins to turn to white around you. I don't know if you've ever played the Assassin's Creed games, but it's very much like a desynchronization around you as this memory fragment begins to break apart. And you're left in this beautiful whiteness, and you just hear a voice. Ava? Ava, come on, you need to wake up. Ava, come on. Ava, get up! And your eyes just burst open, and you are in this hellish prison again, and stood over you in this brilliant white light is Jeremiah. Oh, thank God. Puts his hand out to grab you, to help you up onto your feet. Take my hand, come on. Takes your hand and lifts you up. Right, I don't have much time, okay? You're still dreaming, all right? But I've been trying to hold off and trying to flood your mind with your actual memories. I've been trying to hold him off and trying to get you to wake up. You need to wake up, Ava. He looks exactly like he was the day that you last saw him.
You're not real.
I am real. And he grabs your hand, and you can feel, even though he's very incorporeal, but he has a physical touch to him, and he grabs the back of your head and places it up against his. I am real. Trust me. Reaches into his pocket and pulls out a very familiar necklace. You need to take this. It took me a long time to find somebody to get this. Okay? Okay? Right? I had to make a lot of deals with a lot of people to get this to me in the afterlife. You need to take this. This is the symbol that I will love you forever. And he puts it into your hand, and as he moves his hand away, it begins to become corporeal again. And you've got that silver platinum face of Kenanvor in your hand.
I go to take it, but hold my hand over his. If it's really you, can you ever forgive me?
When I saw you for the first time in however many years it was, and you looked, as you do now, so much different, so much life has gone through you. You have done some dark things. You have done some things that people may consider to be evil, some things that may not be very well appreciated by others. I was confused. I was not sure if you were my Ava anymore, but I have realized that I was so wrong in that. No matter what you go through, no matter how old you are, you will always be my Ava. And I will love you until the ends of the earth, the ends of this world, wherever it is that we may find ourselves. I will love you forever. I am just sorry that I reacted the way that I did.
Are you happy?
I'm a lot happier knowing that you are going to be safe. There are people here to save you. You just need to wake the fuck up.
Is there anything I can see, anything sharp, anything damp, anything that Ava can, use to cause herself pain or a shock? Something to snap her out of it and wake her up?
You're on a cliff edge at the moment. A ruined version of Raven's Bluff.
I'll turn to Jeremiah, hold his hand one last time and go, I will always love you, and jump.
Just before you go, he gives you that final sort of head on, and as he pulls away, he puts a daisy chain on the top of your head. As you fall backwards and it materializes into a real thing, you fall down, and it's like when you're falling down in your sleep and you suddenly wake up, your eyes just burst open and you can see 4 figures stood around you. One of them you recognize instantly to be Ildrathni, although there's something a little bit different about her. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We have been Roll Together RPG. If you like what you've seen, we do D&D on Mondays, and we do some other streams sometimes on Tuesdays. Check out our socials and join our Discord if you'd like to see what we're doing and when we're doing it. Massive thank you to our sponsors and supporters, to our D20 Club, Dice Heads, and other tiers on Patreon. They are fantastic. They are the best. You can join them from as little as one of your local currency per month, or one goat, which must be sent to the kobolds for various reasons, because Tom has too many. Massive thank you to Rebecca for playing in this session and for putting up with all of the shit that I threw at you and for throwing a lot of shit back at me. So thank you for that. We will see you all in our next session where Ava gets to team up with Ildrathni, Gertie and Pip and get out of the abyss. Goodbye.